last night I finished doing all of the battle quests, battle role quests, and all that jazz. And so now we are shifting gears over to our Disciple of Land and Disciple of Hand role quests. We've got just a couple, we've got just some few to deal with and all that stuff. I calculated it all out. I should be able to level, I should be able to get them all done in one fell swoop. Now crafting is not the most glamorous thing in the world, but it does need to get done. And it is very important. And it's also got its own narrative, and I figured, hey, this would be a fun thing for us to do. If we end up finishing early, which we probably won't, we'll probably switch gears into doing some EX farming or whatnot. We will go from there. But to kick things off, we're gonna do fisherman first, because of I need one of my Disciple of Land quests or jobs to hit cap, and then I can apply for my mentor role again. So we're gonna do fisher because I like fishing, and it's pretty easy for the most part. It actually might be, no, it's probably gonna be the hardest one because it's RNG based mildly. So we'll do that. All right, fear the thesis. Talakatia could use a helping hand with his research. Could it be? Yes, you must be the gleaner I've heard so much about. Let me get straight to the point. Whoa, buddy. I'm just a humble fisherman, man. You gotta calm down. Oh, but where are my manners? Allow me to introduce myself first. My name is Talakatia, and I'm an associate professor in the Faculty of Etherology here. To tell the truth, I'm in a bit of a bind. I'm scheduled to make a major presentation at a conference in the near future, but as ashamed as I am to admit it, I've not been able to get enough data to properly finish my thesis. If I'm unable to prove the worth of my research, then my funding is all but certain to dry up. As you can see, the stakes are high. You have the look of an adept angler about you, am I right? If so, you could be just the person I need. This section here is one I've rented out for my work. Might it interest you in taking a look? Sure, I can fish. So the battle role quest didn't have an epilogue quest, so I'm curious to see if these will have an epilogue quest, but we'll see. Impressive, isn't it? I bet you never laid eyes on such a fine fish tank before. Sadly, as you can see, it's entirely devoid of fish. Anyhow, I suppose I should tell you about my work. You see, I research water veins, not just any old ones, mind you, but those that carry ether, not unlike the light stream, or the etheric currents in the wind. Light is naturally drawn to areas abundant in ether, which is why you might observe that popular fishing spots are often also ether-rich. My research focuses in particular on veins which carry especially high concentrations of ether, currents commonly known as spectral currents. Are you perchance familiar with the phenomenon? I've seen one before. Yeah, it's during ocean fishing you see them. Very rare, but it is, yeah, you've seen them before. Oh, I'd expect nothing less from a veteran gleaner. I must say, it's always nice to meet someone familiar with the subject of my life's work. In any event, the most important point to remember is just how important ether currents are for aquatic life. To look at it the other way, it is possible to identify how strong the local ether currents are by studying the fish and other aquatic life in any given area. And that's where we come full circle. I require specimens of fish from various bodies of water to confirm my hypothesis regarding underwater ether currents. And there's the rub. The areas most worth researching also happen to be the hardest to reach. Of course, I would not be adverse to risking the journey myself, if only it were not for my condition. Are you sick? Are you weak? Yes, I suppose I should explain. Put simply, I have long suffered from a particularly nasty case of ether sickness. Why, I can't even use the Ethernet or any sort of teleportation magics. Quite annoying when your work partially depends on such things, to say the least. Oh. Well, that's a problem. You know, there's a department that, like, specializes in, like, teleportation and stuff, you know, right? I know. An etherologist who can't stomach ether? I wouldn't believe it if I not living this nightmare myself. That's rough, buddy. It's like being a pilot, but getting airsick. But perhaps you are skeptical, or being it's like being an it's like being an airplane. I've lost the analogy. I'm sorry. Let's just keep going with the quest. I tried. But perhaps you are skeptical? I have an idea. Follow me to the Aetherite Plaza, and I'll show you just how bad I've got it. I don't think that's necessary. Let me prove to you how nauseous I can get from teleportation. I'd rather we didn't do that, actually. Like, I really, we don't have to, man. Talaga, we don't have to. It's fine. It's cool, man. Ah, there you are. All right, watch closely now. Again, I don't need to see this, dude. I get it. It's fine. Just give me the assignment, man. Oh boy. You see? I'm feeling so queasy. It's all I can do to hold down the contents of my stomach. Ouch. That's rough, buddy. The whole world is spinning. Someone make it stop. What is this? Forgive me. Ooh. Gross. Ew. Sad. Real sad. Well, there you have it. My condition has manifested itself all over the ground for you. Ew. I say, Talaka, are you quite alright? Professor Nele! I see your condition's as bad as ever. One would think you'd avoid a place like this. And you, are you perchance assisting Talaka with his research? That's the plan. The boy may suffer from terrible ether sickness, but as a scholar, he has as much potential as anyone I've seen. You develop an eye for these things when you've been in academia for as long as I have. But I must be on my way. I very much look forward to reading your finished thesis, Talaka. Look, he's got the Alexander wings. That man's a raider. Did I mention that I don't handle pressure particularly well? I've barely written the introduction to my paper, and Professor Nele is already selling it up to his peers. How can I possibly live up to his expectations? Incidentally, Professor Nele is one of the leading authorities in the world of etherology. Some would even say he's the equal to Master Matoya, and for some reason, he seems to have taken a liking to me. He is the one who pushed for the school to allow me to form my own research team, as the first and trial phase of a program to support young scholars. Otherwise, a humble associate professor such as myself would never be able to conduct such an ambitious project. And yet, I run the risk of losing everything if I don't turn my potential into actual results at the upcoming conference. Not only would my own research team be disbanded, but there's a high likelihood that Professor Nele's program would be terminated, meaning that no other young scholar would ever again receive the opportunity I did. The very future of the studium is at stake. Oops. I may not be good at dealing with ether or pressure, but one thing is certain, for Professor Nele's sake, I must not fail. I cannot! What did he say? Hold on. Previously said, oh, part of me wishes I could just drink my worries away. Sadly, I handle alcohol about as well as I handle ether. Oh no. And so I beg of you, pray help me. There's no one else whom I can turn. Okay, leave it to me. I got you. I got you. You're in luck, buddy, because I love fishing. Fishing is actually one of my favorite things in this game, low-key. Thank you. Oh, thank you. You are a shining beacon of hope for all young scholars here in Charleon. Now, let us head back to Searcher's Meet so we can get into the task. I shall meet you back in my office. Alright, now because these studium quests start at 80, they are going to be a lot more involved. Granted, a lot of them is like, craft this thing, now craft this thing, now craft this thing. But even still, it's a lot more involved than the battle role quests, in my opinion. Which I like. Show. I was just compiling a list of fish that I'll be needing for my research. Let me know when you're ready to get fishing. I'll fill you in on exactly what I would ask you to do. Okay, easy enough. I can do that. The Faculty of Etherology. go with the flow. Talakatia is in dire need of some data. Oh, these high cordials? Dude, I love high cordials. All right then, shall we get started? To review, I require samples of aquatic life from various bodies of water that I might analyze them and ascertain the current state of the respective region's underwater ether currents. Before I send you off to far-flung locales, I'd like to gather data from somewhere nearby. Collecting samples from a stable, controlled environment like Labyrinthos should give me a good basis with which to compare any future findings. To that end, I'd like to ask you to catch me some giant ether lice, and a fair share of them, to ensure a representative sample size. According to my preliminary research, they swim in abundance near the Phreatic Conduit and have a noted fondness for gold salmon roe. Okay. Alright. So how many do you need? Alright, help each faculty of the studium has a list of requested deliveries. The faculty of the Faculty of Etherology will accept items from fishers. The items requested will vary according to your level, blah, 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 blah. Fill the gates completely, and your esteem will increase, allowing you to progress through the story. Student deliveries take form of collectibles, and you are able to submit multiple items simultaneously. Items with a higher collectability do not result in a larger increase in esteem, but you receive greater rewards upon the delivery. Okay. So, giant ether louse. Gross. Crustacean that is never far from an underwater ether. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You need 6 of them. Got it. Okay. Easy enough. Let us go to Labyrinthos. Alright. He gave me a location, but that's not specific enough. So giant ether louse is where? Let's see here. Head west across the outer circuit. Oh, I know where this is. Unmoved, okay. Unmoved source alpha. I know where that is. It's gonna be right over here. I see it. Thankfully, it's right where that waterfall is. I had to fish here previously because of, I need the level, so this works out perfectly. And I've calculated it all out. I'm level 88 on my fisher right now. I calculated it all out, and I should, doing all the delivery quests, not even just the base experience you get from turning the quest in, it should be enough to actually level me from 88 to 90, in theory. So, we'll see how that works. I gave myself a little bit of padding. I'm halfway to 89. I've got a little bit of padding, so just in case. All right, let me think here. So we need gold salmon roe. I need to do this, pop this, and whoop. And we're off to the races. Also need this on, because these are collectibles. I always forget that. I always forget to put the collectible part on. That's a top minnow. Alright. I don't need any of this. And that's actually the nice thing about this release list, is that any fish that I get now just automatically released, which is really awesome. Did I really just get a 44 top minnow? That's kind of awkward. I don't need that, so. So fishing is kind of awkward because I like it because it's like, it's real low stress. It's like you cast your line, do a couple things, and boom, we're off to the races. But there is a bit of RNG to it, of like you gotta cast your line, you hope you get what you need. I actually don't have a whole lot of gold salmon roe, so I might need to go buy some soon. I can get some in Razahal. I really need to go get some. Like I said, the Disciple, Land, and Hand quests are not the most glamorous thing in the world, but they need to get done. And I do really like fishing. Out of like all the like Disciple, Land, and Disciple, Hand quests, fishing is probably my favorite thing, just because it's chill. It's super chill. I can sneak one more in here before my debuff wears off. Oh, I'm capped out in GP. Wow. Yep. There we go. There's our Ether Louse. Ah, shit. I should have done my identical cast. Fuck. That actually would have been perfect. Shit. Oh, well. Hopefully we can get another one in succession, in rapid succession. There we go. There's our Ether Louse. Pop one of my Thalic favor. Keep my GP up. We have access to my Cordials, which is good, but because this is a 3 and 3.5 minute cooldown, like, I don't want to use them too much. But God, getting Cordials is so nice. The fact that we get high Cordials for turn-in is, like, so amazing. And it's 30 of them, which is fucking awesome. There we go. There we go. And we can do our identical cast, which means that we are guaranteed to have it be an Ether Louse again, which is awesome. Of course, it has some fish can't be are an exception to the rule, but most likely this will allow us to get an identical cast. Ether Louse. Boom. We're gonna run out of my patience too. One more in. Yeah, so like I'm already almost to 89. So we're definitely gonna hit max, which is even before we finish the whole quest line. That's not a problem though. That's exactly what I want to have happen. The fact that we're getting 272k though is pretty awesome. Feels good. In hindsight, I probably should have waited until I just naturally hit 560 and then popped my Cordio, because I capped out, unfortunately. It's whatever. It's fine. Okay, low-key, I don't remember where I got these high Cordials you can get from White Script turn-ins, which is cool, whatever. I don't remember where I got these high-quality Cordials from, and I'm just like, because I know you can get regular ones from Grand Company, but I'm like, but I have high-quality ones. And where did I get these from? And I have a bunch of them, too. And I'm like, I don't remember where these came from. Maybe I bought them off Market for? I don't think so. Maybe. I said he needed 6, right? I think so. Pretty sure it said I need six ether louse, so perfect. There we go. Optimally, I want to do my identical cast and the prize catch, because identical cast obviously allows us to get another ether louse, but then the large catch allows it, the prize catch allows it to be bigger, so we just get more bang for our buck. It basically just guarantees us to have a really good ether louse, to catch a really good fish, especially of the fish that I need. Perfect. All right. I'll do DoL XIV again, which works out perfectly, just so that way I can use my powerful and precision hook set. Because the trade-off with patience is that I have a better chance of catching large-sized fish. I have a better chance of having them be even bigger, but then the problem is that the fish are, I have to use a specific ability to catch them, and then if I can't do that, then we have a problem. Alright, we don't need this top mineral. What I need is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need one more ether louse. But that's gonna have to wait just a hot second. I should not sort my inventory yet. Yeah, that's gonna have to wait for a hot second, just because of I don't have a whole lot of. I need more GP real quick. Just wait 20 seconds, and then we can pop a cordial. I'm surprised that these are 3.5 minutes, but these are just 3 minutes, even though we get more GP than this one. Maybe because of the fact that it's high quality, perhaps? But I really don't know. Useless. I hate that it just like completely. There we go. I hate that every time I stop fishing, my release list resets. It's annoying. One more ether louse. That's all I need. Perfect. Perfect. Alright. All done. That's fine. Cool. Now we're level 89. The moment I hit 90, I'm just gonna go apply for my mentor real quick, just because I know I'll forget, so I just want to, like, while it's fresh in my mind, I'm like, alright, get mentor, get my crown. Everything's alright with the world. Alright. Let's see. Oh, wow. So, the bare minimum I could get is 70 to 165. And then, prize pristine, 166. 175, 173, 169, 68, 71, 76. Boom. We are hitting all the marks, baby. You're welcome. Now, this is a remarkable catch. Impressive specimens like these will give me even more quality data. I can't thank you enough. In making your first delivery, you've begun to earn Talakatia's trust. To Deliver the items Salakatia needs and deliver them often to improve your standing with the Faculty of Etherology. Boom. You're welcome. Easy. Thanks to your efforts, I've been able to compile a full set of reference data. Now we can finally get started on spots further afield. But before that, I haven't yet explained my research to you in detail, have I? Simply put, there's a certain hypothesis I want to prove. In my studies over the years, I have come to believe that much like the tide ebbs and flows with the phases of the moon, so too do the underwater ether currents that cover our entire planet. When the concentration of ether in any given current changes, aquatic life in the area grows more or less abundant, which ultimately affects the currents of the ocean itself. My hope is that if I can prove this and actually predict these changes, we might theoretically identify the best times for fishing and even know when it's safest to navigate the seas. Needless to say, it would be a major breakthrough, and I'm one step closer to realizing it all thanks to you. Ah, Talaka. It looks like your research is progressing well. Professor Nele. I heard that your friend here had started gathering samples for you, so I brought a few choice tomes with me that might serve to point you in the right direction. As always, you are too kind, Professor. I can't thank you enough. Don't mention it. When the time comes that your research bears fruit, that will be all the thanks I need. Your mind for developing compelling hypotheses has always impressed me. You lacked only for a skilled gleaner to help you overcome the limits of your affliction. I will be watching this new partnership of yours with great interest. He seems nice. Phew. Why, that actually wasn't so bad. Just having you around has already taken a huge weight off my shoulders. Up until now, Professor Nele's confidence in me only made me feel pressured to deliver something that I wasn't even sure I was capable of. But now I finally started to make some tangible progress, and it's all because of you. For the first time, I feel like I may have a bright future in academia after all. Oh, well, that's good, but at the same time, nah, dude, you're smart. Yes, I have a feeling everything is going to go swimmingly, no pun intended, as long as you're by my side. 30 high cordial, still so good, yeah. Yeah. Now considers you a dependable fisher. What did he think of me before? What did he think of me beforehand? Hey! Data across the decades. Talakatia has high hopes that your partnership will bear fruit. Oh, hello again. Oh. Did you notice the fish tank, by the way? I went ahead and put one of my research specimens in it. Quite the looker, wouldn't you say? Oh, what is it? I tell you, so many things have fallen into place ever since you showed up. I'm having the time of my life analyzing all this data. I mean, to continue my analysis of ether lice, of course, but I will task another gleaner with such mundane tasks. Instead, I'd like to make full use of your skills by having you visit an area I've long been fascinated with. I speak of the oceans surrounding Thavnair. I have reasons to believe there was a significant change in the ether currents in those waters that occurred around the time of the calamity. Professor Nele shared with me some data from 20 years prior, and I would compare it with the current data to ascertain if I am correct. Okay, is easy enough. I can do that. The waters around Thavnair, you see, have long been one of the focal points of Professor Nele's research. I wish to study them more to honor his work, whilst also using it as a starting point for my own. Before you go, however, a word of warning. Ever since the calamity, the region is notorious for shipwrecks. I realize that you are a seasoned professional, but I fully understand if you do not want to take on the risk. I almost didn't return from my voyage on the Siren Song Sea. Yeah, I've already died once, it's fine. So the rumors were true. Still, you could always fish off the island's coast. I reckon there wouldn't be much risk in that. Anyhow, I'd like you to fish the same species that Professor Nele studied 20 years ago, to wit, the Garjana wrasse. According to the books the professor gave me, they live near the Great Runoff, and are known to enjoy nibbling on shrimp balls. And that should be it. Be safe out there, yes? Shrimp balls. I don't have those. I'll have to buy some. Garjana wrasse. Okay. Tropical fish that emits low amounts of ether and travels as part of a school. Okay. 313 is the high end. Wow. Okay. Alright, alright. I need to look at what scripts I have. 915 of 2000. Alright, report. Can I buy shrimp balls from you, ma'am? This is important. Yes, I can. I don't know how many we'll need, so let's just get a stack of 99. Let's restock on the row. Okay. Oh, cool. And we're off. All right, Favnir. Let me think about this. Good Garjana Rad. Those might be... Okay, it's in the Great Work. Okay. It's not where I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be in Razat Han specifically, because that's where I went also to grind levels. But no, okay, okay. So it is going to be... Okay. So the Garjana Wrath is going to be in the Great Work. Okay, that's easy enough. Oh, it's raining. That's cool. That's neat. This looks like a good spot. Alright. Oh. I have never fished here. Gobi, don't need that. See, my fear is that with leveling, it was whatever. But with going through the deliveries, I'm wondering if my level 80 gear that I have is not going to be enough. It should be. I think we'll just kind of have a couple trip-ups with the fish getting away. But we'll see. Because that is my one fear of like, ooh, I wonder if I will have enough gear to do so. I should be able to, though. Oh, 83, okay. No shit. Golden Barramundi. Oh yeah, we're gonna level easily, actually. I had literally nothing to fear. Hell, I could have started so much earlier. 423,000? Holy hot damn. I could have started so much earlier. I could have started at like 87. No, I could have started at probably 85, honestly. Maybe 87. Especially because that's level 8, isn't it level 83 quest? There we go. Ooh, I just lost out my patience. That kind of sucks. So I have to use a regular hook. That can be problematic, but we'll see. Oh, I should have popped a corneo. Fuck. Oh well. Maybe that's enough to get me there. Alright, 223. That's not bad. Pop a high. Gonna give it just a couple seconds to recharge my GP a little bit more. Because again, because I have the trade-off for patience is inefficient hooking, so I have to use one of these two hook sets, and they require 50 GP. Problematic. But I can catch at least one fish, then I can use my Thalic's favor to instantly regain 150 GP. So far we've caught 2. Ouch. It doesn't help if I don't catch anything. Yeah. Alright. What's this do? Electrifies the water and captures all fish present in your field of vision. Areas of other nearby fish increases with the number of fish caught. Requires a catch counter of 10 to execute. Can only be executed once per spearfishing. Oh, that's spearfishing. Alright, that's different. That's spearfishing. I don't care about that right now. Damn it. Yeah, I think we're gonna stumble a couple of times. Which is exactly why I wanted to do fishing first, because I knew this was gonna take me the longest. Because again, it's a lot of RNG. Couple seconds. Sit down for this, gotta. Damn, I think it's 2 exclamation points is what I would need. Damn it. Hooked on a reeling. Yeah, we're already level 89. Or we're almost already to level 90. Jesus. If I had known this was going to be this easy to hit Fisher, I would not have grinded nearly as hard as I did. There we go. 18. Let's see. I'm at 5 Angler's Arts. Okay. Catch one more fish. That'll put me at 6, so that I can get 300 GP back. Which is perfect, because this will last me, I think, 2.5 minutes, I think. 145, so yeah, almost 2.5 minutes, which is perfect because that means that these I can pop when they come off cooldown and just keep that wheel turning. Yeah, but yeah, this is exactly why I wanted to do Fisher first, because everything else is just get the ingredients, boom, you're done. Either get the ingredients or just make the thing, boom, you're done. Fishing is all, it's essentially just all RNG. Like, you just kind of have to wait and hope you get all the fish you need. So, I knew this was going to take the longest one because of it's all RNG and my luck is trash. I feel like when we have to, I should maybe, like, I wish I knew the timing of which, because there are certain windows in which the fish is most likely to appear. So I wish I knew when that window was. I feel like if I'm waiting for too long and we have 2 exclamation points, we're not gonna get it. It has to be like it has to be pretty, it has to pop pretty quickly, I think is what I'm unsure though. Ooh, can I sneak one more cast in? I might be able to do that fast enough. Oops. How long? 145? Okay, perfect. So I'll have my cordial up before this burns out. Which is good. And we are level 90. And we're level 90. Alright. Which means that when we're done here, I'm gonna go get my mentor status, and then we can go turn our fish in. Come on, I'm so close. I'm halfway there. Please. It is like a little unfortunate that I have to actually catch 6. I wish you could just like, I wish there was a Steam requirement and not a, I wish the minimum or the maximum was fit. No. Yeah, I wish the maximum that you needed to catch was 6, but if they were high enough quality, if they were high enough collectability, I could say, if they were high enough collectability, you didn't have to turn in as much. But I feel like that's a lot of balancing that DoL would have to do, and it's like, it's just easier to do it this way. Like, just catch 6, and then anything extra, like, you just get stuff, you get bonus stuff. I'm catching a bunch of small stuff. What does this do? Friends hooking the same fish you just caught has no effect on. I don't know if that will help me out per se. After we catch this next fish, I'm gonna have to use my Tholic Saver because this caps out at 10. There we go. Come on, baby. Come on. Give me what I need. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. So do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and swoop. Okay, good. I was actually I was wondering, I was like, what happens if the fish gets away? I still keep it. They last until I catch the fish, which is, thank God for that. Thank fucking God for that. There we go. Alright. All done. Solid. Alright. Let's go apply to be a mentor. And then... then we can turn our fish in. Perfect. Oh, I should probably extract material too. I really wish we had another spearfish, because this is the only one we actually have, and it feels bad, honestly. Alright. Apply to be a mentor. Boom. 1,000 instance dungeons, 1,500 player commands, tank roll, healer roll, DPS roll, 300 collectibles, 100 synthesize 100 collectibles, level 90 on land, level 90 on hand. I am a mentor once again. I am a mentor once again. Woo! Okay. Ah, so what the hell is that? Alright. Ah, feels good. Feels good to have my crown back. Ah, yeah, baby. manage to reel in any wrasse? According to my references, they live in relative abundance near the Great Runoff and favor the taste of shrimp balls. Speaking of which, how do you plan to travel to Thavnir? I suspect teleportation magic would be the most convenient way. If, sadly, not one available to me. In either event, do take care. Alright, what was the minimum? 3 13s? Oh, baby. 25, 23, 18, 20, 21, and 20. Yo, welcome! Dear me, what an impressive specimen! This should allow me to collect data as complete as Professor Nellius from 2 decades ago. I can't wait to compare my findings. Oh, feels good. Well, I dare say I've more than enough samples now. Pray wait for just a moment. I'm going to ask Professor Nelly to take a look. It's not every day that you ask after me, Talaka. I trust this means that your research is coming along well. Better than I could have ever imagined. As a matter of fact, I was hoping to hear your thoughts on my latest findings. Comparing my data with yours from 20 years ago, I can say with confidence that the concentration of ether in the area did indeed show an increase around the time of the calamity. But from these numbers, I would posit that smaller fish species in the area have increased in abundance several-fold. The Garjana wrasse in particular is known for protecting itself from predators by creating disturbances in the surrounding ether. A population increase of such scale would undoubtedly result in a dramatic impact on its habitat. Now what? Which would go a long way to explain the countless shipwrecks. The sheer number of these fish would surely play havoc with ships' ether compasses. Outstanding work, Talaka. Of course, more data will be needed to prove your assertions as fact. Should it hold true, however, this could be a discovery of no small import. Come to think of it, I remember you showing considerable interest in my research into the seas around Thavnir. What exactly was it that drew you to my work? Oh, it's just, well, I always found the figure somewhat unnatural. Call it a hunch, but I couldn't help but feel like it warranted further research. Ah, now that's the true spirit of a scholar. Even the most epic making of discoveries often started from observation of a simple irregularity or curiosity. With that intuition and power of observation, you're going to go places, Talaka. I knew my faith in you was not misplaced. I am? You flatter me, Professor. Take care not to let it go to your head. Your potential will only be stifled if you allow yourself to be content with minor progress and faint praise. Of course, Professor. I will redouble my efforts and work harder than ever to deliver results. And on that note, I'd best get to work summarizing my findings for inclusion in my thesis. If I am able to identify an explicit correlation amongst the post-calamity change in ether concentration, the explosion of the fish population, and the increase in shipwrecks, it will go a long way toward proving my theory correct. Of course, I'll be needing more fish specimens before that can happen. Fair warning, I might have to send you to even more hazardous locales. And yet, I'm sure you're up to the challenge, yes? Splendid. I swear, this is the most invigorated I've ever felt about my research. Now, where to start? Thank you for the high cordials. Dope. I am now a formidable fisher. Alright. 85. History lesson. Talakatia has an unquenchable thirst for data. Hello again. I truly can't thank you enough. The samples you've provided me with have allowed me to make incredible progress in my work. As it happens, I actually just decided on the next specimen I'd like to ask you to procure. You see, I've essentially completed my analysis of the currents surrounding Thavnir. I must say, it's been most enlightening. Next, I would ask you to travel to a place where we have no pre-existing data. To wit, I mean to research the currents at Garlemald. We've been unable to even set foot in the region until now, which means that gathering data there could lead to a truly revolutionary discovery. After all, we still have no idea how the underwater ether currents there are connected with those in the other regions. Alas, lacking data from years past, it won't be such a simple task to identify the changes that have occurred over the decades. I do, however, have an idea how we might get around that. The answer, my friend, is shellfish. Studying the growth lies within their shells should allow me to draw some conclusions about how their habitat has changed over time. Science! After carefully perusing Professor Nelly's tomes, I've come to the conclusion that Garlean clams would be particularly suitable as a research specimen. Do you think you'd be up to the task for catching some for me? I know the place like the back of my hand. Clams, you say? Leave it to me. I can get clams. That's easy. Wonderful. I'm quite confident that quality data from Garlemald is what will allow my thesis to truly begin to take shape. Ah, yes. I also read that clams exist in abundance in the area around Camp Broken Glass, and that leeches are particularly effective in luring them up from the water's bottom. Pray, forgive me for asking you to travel to such a perilous location. Please do whatever you must to stay safe. Okay, easy enough. Camp Broken Glass, I know where that is, so that makes my life a lot easier. Alright. I know where Camp Broken Glass is. In fact, I have an aetheryte right there waiting for me. Alright. So now the question is, where am I going? Oh, probably right there. I was like, there has to be a place where I can fish. So question is, where is that place? It's right here. Alright. He said leeches, right? 77 leeches. Alright, at 77 leeches. Alright, let's get to fishing. Hello, fellow fisher. Evelyn Trout. Alright, not what I need. I feel like it's gonna be it's gonna be the single exclamation point. Animalus. Also not what I need. I'll store my inventory right now before I forget. Cerule core. I'm gonna service slap just to get those out of the way. That way I don't have to worry about them. Especially since I have an abundance of GP right now. It'd be nice to at least be able to knock out one of the fish here. Ice block. There we go. Gotta keep kind of healthy here, especially because I'm about to run out of my patience. I'm about to run out of patience. There's our clam. Okay. I'm gonna do this. We'll have to use a regular hook, but that's, I think, well worth it. And then in just another minute and I'll have cordial again. So I was right, it is a singular exclamation. Another clam. Woo! Get that little boost in there. And wait 30 seconds, pop a high cordial, pop patience, boom. Just gotta wait. Yeah, using the service slap is really nice because that already marks out a couple of other fish. So I have higher odds of getting the clams that I need. That way I don't have to fight through as much stuff. All about playing the odds. Playing the game, baby. Playing the odds. There we go. I could surface slap that if I wanted to. It actually wouldn't be that bad of an idea. Maybe if we catch one again later, because now I'll have another Thaliax favor. So that means that surface slap will actually be less. Will cost less now. I thought I popped my Thaliax. It's fine. I'll have enough for the hooking. Oh, surface slap might actually be... Surface slap might actually not work in the way that I want it to work. It does not work in the way that I want it to work. It's only that I don't catch I don't catch the same fish twice in a row. That's what it is. It's the opposite of identical cast. Nice. That's 4. 2 more. Easy. Alright, we can do that, and then give me 10 seconds, and I can pop a cordial, and then we can even do the prize catch. Whee! Excellent. Alright, 157. Sure, that'll do for a last one. There it is. Oh, there it is. Good. Any luck finding those clams? As I mentioned, you should be able to find them in abundance right around Camp Broken Glass. And don't forget to bring a healthy supply of leeches. I've heard that Garlemald continues to be a most volatile and perilous place. I admire your courage, friend. Even were it not for my ether sickness, I doubt I could work up the nerve to go there myself. Alright. Minimum is 184. Wow. Well, we got 85, 87, 90, 90, 57. Not bad. Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't realize. Oh, wow. I didn't realize I almost capped out on white scripts already. Oh, snap. Okay. Give me a second. Because. Oh, you. I need to talk to you. Script exchange, please. Thank you. Let's see here. Give me. Where is it? Miscellanea? Yeah. Let's see here. Thank you. Okay, cool. Just some extra leveling items for my for when I level my miner. Okay. Alright, there you go. You've done it, and what a remarkable sample it is. My colleagues will be burning with envy when they hear I've obtained a specimen from Garlemald. How can I even begin to express my gratitude? By giving me those high cordials. That's what I want, baby. Oh, you might be wondering who this is. My research has been progressing so well of late that I brought on a few of my students to serve as assistants and help me analyze all this data. Hello. At any rate, I cannot thank you enough for braving such hostile environs for the sake of my life's work. No one in my field has had the chance to obtain substantial data from Garlemald until now. It would be no understatement to say your contribution is historic. Needless to say, this puts even more pressure on me to deliver with my thesis. Oh dear, my stomach's starting to feel queasy just thinking about it. You should get that checked out, really. Ah, Talaka, would you believe you're the talk of the studium? Even the senior faculty can scarcely wait to hear what you are able to glean about the ether currents of Garlemald. Professor, yes, it's all thanks to Show here. Without her aid, I never could have procured this most invaluable specimen. Indeed, truly I have not seen a partnership between scholar and gleaner bear such fruit so swiftly in a very long time. You know, I'm kind of something of a fisher, you know. I do things. I'm able to catch stuff. Oh, that's right. Speaking of gleaning, I meant to tell you about everything I'd learned from the clams you brought. I'm pleased to report that analyzing Garlean clams appears to have been the right call. Examining their growth lines, I was able to find specimens as old as 97 years, giving me almost a full century of data to analyze. By far, the most interesting thing I've noticed so far is the reverse correlation between the ether levels near Thabnair and those in Garlemald. That is to say, over periods of time when the ether concentration was high near Thabnair, it was low in Garlemald. The reverse was also true. I see. That bit of evidence would seem to corroborate your hypothesis that the planet's ether currents move in tandem with each other. Should you manage to collect data from more regions still, I suspect you may very well be able to accurately predict changes in the fish population across the world. This could have remarkable implications for the future of fishing trade. I was thinking the very same, Professor. Nothing would give me greater joy than if my research were to bring about a tangible improvement in people's lives. Before meeting you, I never dreamed I would make it this far, but now I feel more confident than ever that I will be able to prove my hypothesis one day. Why, I can almost see my completed thesis in my mind's eye, but I can't afford to get too complacent just yet. The most important work remains to be done. I am pleased to see that all is progressing well, and yet do not be surprised if there comes a time when Talaka's resolve as a researcher is tested. A time when he is forced to consider what it is that truly drives him to engage in his work. For such times come to all scholars, no matter how naturally gifted they may be. That doesn't foreshadow anything, no. Should Talaka find himself at an impasse, can I trust you to lend him your support when it is needed most? It would mean the world to him, and to me. Yeah. Look, he needs a fish to catch. I'll catch the fish. I got this. You see this rod? I grinded for this rod. Seasoned fisher. The Wandering Whale. Talakatia will stop at nothing to complete his research. Thanks to your most selfless contributions, I draw closer and closer to proving my hypothesis correct. Other gleaners have also been helping me by continuing to find specimens for me in calmer waters. But I would gather data from further and further afield, which is, of course, where you come in. Sounds interesting. Professor, I brought Alberseed. Sure. It's not like you to get so excited. Whatever is the matter? Oh, but I haven't introduced you to yet, have I? This is Alberseed, one of my new research assistants. She's been a great help in analyzing all the data we've collected. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but this is no time for pleasantries. A whale has somehow wandered its way into Scholar's Harbor. The harbor master has requested that you come and assess the situation with all haste. Oh dear, I suppose we best be in a hurry then. My apologies, but it seems our work will have to wait until later. In the meantime, would you accompany me to the harbor? Your insight into the situation could prove most valuable. There's a whale in the harbor! Well, not the direction I thought this was going. I thought I was catching a whale. JK, the whale has come to me. This is level 85, really? Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright, let's take a look at this whale. Is it like the party whale? Because if it's not like the party whale, I'm going to be a little offended. Where is it? Oh! Look at that! That's a whale! Not like the party whale. That's a breed that calls the northern seas home. Not especially rare to see them off the coast, but I've never heard of one coming so close to land as this. It's most strange. It doesn't appear to be wounded, nor have there been any notable storms of late. Whatever might have caused it to veer so far off its normal course. What indeed? At any rate, we need to move it to one of our facilities and ensure it's kept safe while we tend to its wounds. It may have, and study it more. I suppose we should check its ether levels as well. Ready a team for me, Aubrey. Of course, Professor. This may be quite the undertaking. My apologies, but our project will have to wait a little while longer. Let us reconvene back at Searcher's Meet and discuss the matter further. There's a whale in the harbor. Interesting. Very interesting. Probably just 85, then 87, 89, 90. 4 more quests, I would assume. 3 more, not including this one. Oh, hello there. I'm so very sorry for keeping you waiting. We just finished tending to the creature's ailments and doing some preliminary analysis. As we suspected, the whale hadn't sustained any major injuries. However, it does seem to be suffering from severe ether sickness and is highly disoriented as a result. Needless to say, I can sympathize. The creature's ether levels were also cause for concern. which would explain why it wound up somewhere so far from its usual habitat. That said, we're still none the wiser as to what caused all of this. Oh hey, I know you. How goes it, Talaka? Oh, and Sho, what a pleasant surprise. I've heard all about your predicament and with the wayward whale. Master Kite, to what do I owe the pleasure? I was simply hoping to pick your brains about something that I imagine is related to your line of work. Around the same time your larger-than-life friend wandered into the harbor, a veritable legion of fish washed ashore in Yellowmad near the experimental etherite. That sounds too similar to be mere coincidence. Curious behavior by aquatic life has been known to portend natural disasters. Yes, this strikes me as very much related to my studies. That said, nothing I have gleaned thus far has suggested that ether currents can change so drastically as to inflict nearby creatures with ether sickness. All I have observed suggests that the currents of the planet follow a simple and regular rhythm, not unlike the tides. Indeed, the entirety of my research up until now has been focused on proving this point. If there has been a sudden disturbance in the underwater ether currents, then it will take some time to determine the cause. I also need to attend to the whale. Oh, when will I have time to return to my thesis? Ooh, that's a lot to do. As for the whale, the studium has already announced that it will be dispatching a vessel to research the ether currents in the seas near Charlie. It won't benefit any of us if such incidents continue to occur after all. If we wish to investigate the link between the two events, as Master Kite suggested, then perhaps we should pay a visit to Thavnir. An astute suggestion. You could recruit the help of one of our colleagues over there, or wait a minute. I believe you have the perfect woman for the right job right here. It's fine. As generous and dependable as ever. Yes, I knew you'd be up to the task. I would accompany Sho. You would? When was the last time you even ventured outside the studium's grounds? That's not important. Sho has risked life and limb to help me with my research. I can't just keep leaving all the hard work to her. But Professor, going to Thavnir means you would have to travel via the etherite, or by ship. Not that you'd handle that any better. You don't have to tell me that. Still, time is of the essence. Besides, I'll never be truly respected as a researcher if I don't go out and get my hands dirty from time to time. I have let my fears rule me for far too long. Today is the day I conquer them. Well, it's clear you're not going to change your mind. At least try not to cause Sho too much trouble. Now that you mention it, I hadn't consulted you on the matter. Sho, do you mind if I join you this time? No, fuck you, nerd. Fantastic. In that case, I shall see you in Yellowmad. I'll go by the lassie. It's fine. I know how to help him when he gets there. It's fine. I'll go by the lassie. It's fine. He'll be okay. He'll be fine. It's okay. I've seen this before. Where is he? Oh dear. Oh dear. Poor alchemist. I found this fellow rolling about in his own vomit a short while ago. Not a pretty sight, I can assure you. I'm not sure I've ever seen someone suffer from such severe ether sickness. Ooh. Ew. Sho, is that you? Ah, you know this fellow? The poor man was so ill I thought he might die. I'd not have believed anyone could suffer from such severe ether sickness if I hadn't seen it myself. Oh dear. Be glad you weren't here to see me immediately after I arrived. It was even less pretty a sight than what you witnessed at the Etherite Plaza back in Charlian. I'll go get some lassie. It's okay. And don't even get me started on the most ghastly visions I saw. Countless replicas of myself dancing and singing and spinning. Oh, the spinning. Please make it stop. I suggest you lie down for a while still, friend. It wasn't so long ago that you were convulsing on the ground, spitting up some ghastly bile. You were right, my friend. My apologies for making you worry so. I'm truly sorry about this show. Might you be so kind as to ask around while I rest here a bit more? Yeah, I got you, buddy. Ew. Gross. Oh, look at all those fish. Ah, you think this is a lot of fish? You should have been here earlier. This is a massive improvement, believe you me. No time to rest, though. If they start rotting, the stench alone will be enough to make the whole town ill. What's especially bizarre is that these fish normally stay away from land altogether, save for when they go up rivers to lay their eggs, that is. Anyhow, I've never seen or smelled anything like it in my life, and I hope I never do again. I've never seen anything like it. Entire schools of fish suddenly washing up ashore. There were so many you couldn't see a single grain of sand. Our fishers have their hands full trying to clean up the mess even as we speak. Troublingly, we have no idea what caused it. It's not as if anything ominous occurred to portend such an event. Why, the night before was peaceful as always, the full moon shining bright in the night sky. The moon, you say? Interesting. Now that you mention it, there was one thing out of the ordinary earlier the day before the fish appeared. The river that runs here from the shroud of the Sangwa was swelling like mad. The seawater flowed back into the river, and some say they saw it carrying fish deep, deep into the woods. That's weird. Something's abducting the fish. Doing better, buddy? My apologies for making you go alone, friend. I still can't quite stand up straight, but I feel much better than when I arrived. Tell me, were you able to learn anything of interest from the townspeople? A full moon the night before, and a strong tide flowing up into the river. It would seem this is what we call a tidal bore. The fact that these fish are typically not seen near the coast is strangely reminiscent of our whale problem as well. No, this cannot be mere coincidence. The matter of these fish that were supposedly carried upstream into the woods intrigues me as well. Assuming they're still alive, they would provide much more useful data than those rotting corpses on the beach. If we were to analyze them and find them in a similar etheric state as the whale in Charlian, we could safely conclude that both events were caused by the same, or at least a similar phenomenon. I'm terribly sorry to impose upon you again, but could you go catch those fish for me? They might very well be the key to solving this mystery. From the fisherman's description, swimming upstream, you said. I suspect we are looking for Alnarian salmon. If so, those leashes you used on the clams in Garlemald should serve you well again here. Alright. Catch an Alnarian salmon in Kisrodia. Kisroda. I don't know where that is. I'm going to assume it's over here, but I actually don't know. Let's see here. Oh, I'm close. I'm real close. So it is... here. And thankfully I only have to catch one, so that works out nicely. There you go. Boom. Done. Perfect. This is 85, so yeah, 87, 89. We'll have to catch we'll have to go back to turning in fish. And then 90, we'll have to catch another probably specific fish, and then we're done. Cool, cool. Simple enough. I loathe to impose, but you must go into the woods and catch those fish for me. I didn't come all this way just to get myself sick. I must solve this mystery. Here's your salmon. Oh, thank the gods. And thank you, my friend. I would have hated to go home with nothing but the memory of my worst bout of ether sickness ever. I'm happy to report that I also made some progress myself. I had a word with the alchemists who helped me, and it turns out they have a keen interest in ether as well. We had an exchange of views that was most stimulating. I may not have been able to do much while here, but I'm glad I made the effort to leave the studium for once. Now, it's time we return so I can make use of this new knowledge and analyze the samples you so kindly reeled in for me. Alas, while we may not need to use that god's awful experimental aetherite to travel back, an aetherite is still an aetherite. Heavens have mercy. It's cool to see that, like, because that's something that I've always wondered about. If people, like, you have aetherites all in the major cities, obviously, and it's like, so you can teleport. But I've always kind of wondered, like, who uses these things? Like, who actually uses these aetherites? Is it just adventurers, or, like, what? And it's cool to see that, like, yes, it's technically for everybody, but there are some people who just either don't use them or can't use them. So I find that kind of really, really interesting, actually. And it's also really interesting that, like, it's a lot more common practice than I thought it was. I thought maybe the game was just giving us an excuse of, like, yeah, everyone uses the aetherite. Good to see you return. Needless to say, the trip was a rough one for me. Thankfully, it wasn't nearly as uncomfortable as that dreadful experimental aetherite. I've just about finished analyzing the fish you caught in Thabnir. As expected, their ether levels are almost identical to those of the wayward whale. So you believe that a sudden change in the concentration of ether in the nearby currents caused them to completely alter their behavior? Precisely. That said, the change was of such magnitude that I would struggle to explain it with my initial hypothesis of etheric tides. On the contrary, if such sudden changes are possible, then I may have to reconsider my premise altogether. Moreover, we can't safely return the whale to the sea until we know precisely what is at the root of the problem. Might the tidal bore hold the answer? Yes, I do remember considering that when you shared the people's tale with me. If we posit that the underwater ether currents are affected by the moon, much as the tide itself is, then any sudden change in the moon's state would naturally affect underwater ether levels as well. Recent changes in the moon... By the scholar, that's it! The destruction of Zodiark would have freed an unfathomable amount of ether from within the moon. It would only be logical if this had an impact on the underwater ether currents. Okay. If this is the explanation, my initial theory may yet be viable. With this recent outpouring of ether being the exception that proves the rule, we will need to watch closely for any similar incidents in the near future. That sounds difficult and time-consuming. Ah, Talaka. Word has it that you braved the journey by aetherite to do some fieldwork at Thabnir. Did you find aught of interest there? The moon! I fucked up. I am the cause. I killed God, and unfortunately, there are ramifications. I see. A word of advice, if I may. Any researcher worth his salt must be prepared to rethink and reevaluate their theories when presented with new evidence. Have you given any thought to how you might adapt yours? My initial theory was, to a degree, predicted on the existence of Zodiark. Now that he is no more, I am not entirely sure how we might... Unless we could... Yes, that's it! We can examine a species altogether more ancient, from a time when the heavens were free of Zodiark and other entities of high etheric concentration. Professor, please, this is no time for idle jests. I'm being perfectly serious! Why, I have complete confidence that Sho here will be able to find what we acquire. I do not doubt her skills, but even the best of gleaners would struggle to find specimens of species that doubtless died out ages ago. Oh, ye of little faith. Our friend is more than up to the test. Isn't that so, Sho? Sure, let's just go catch fish in the past. Okay. Now that's the spirit, Talaka. A good scholar must consider every possible option, even those that might seem impossible. Keep pondering the matter, and I have no doubt you will arrive at an answer ere long. They don't know that I can. They don't know that I can time travel. The fish time forgots. Talakatia is pondering the past. Oh, this is cute. Sideritis cookie. Aww. That's cute. Okay, anyways. Oh, hello there. I've been racking my brains trying to come up with new ideas. Alas, nothing has come to me thus far. No matter how much I ponder, I keep coming back to the same thought. I have to get my hands on some specimens from a time before Zodiac came to be. I simply can't accept that all the work we have put into confirming my theory might amount to naught in the end. You know what? Give me any idea you've got, no matter how outlandish it may seem. Please show. I am in dire need of inspiration. So all you need is an ancient fish, right? That's all you need? I can do that. I can get you that. Oh, but wait, do you truly mean it? Yeah, easy. As a scholar, I would love to probe deeper into the details of exactly how you mean to do this, but this is hardly the time for idle chatter. If you can indeed procure this sample for me, I beg of you, please do it. Why, this could very well be the solution to what I thought an insurmountable problem. Ideally, I would examine an ancient specimen that shares some common traits with creatures that still exist today. Reading through Professor Nelle's tomes, I remember thinking that a species called the Smaragdos would be perfect. Okay, I'll go find one. I guess I'll find one. I know not where you mean to find them, but I wish you safety and good fortune in your journey, Shell. Okay. Obviously, we're going to Elpis. We are going... Alright, I see it. Alright, use a sky spoon lure to fish some Smaragdos from Leith in Elpis and deliver them to Talakatia. Sky spoon. I don't have that. Though, I think I can get one from out here. Not you. You. No, I can't. I know I can get them in Thavnir. Or Razat Han, for that matter. I know I can get them there. Are they? Don't tell me that they're white strips. Wrong side. Worm. Oh, they are. Shit. Well, it's a good thing I had scripts. Thank God. Yeah, thank goodness I had scripts. Yeah. Sky Spoon. Cool. Alright. To Elpis. Alright, I know where this is. It's literally the only place that I know of that has water in Elpis. Or at least, like, abundance of water. Hold on. Yeah, Literally the only place that has like an abundance of water. It's gonna be here. Let's see, where's a safe place to fish? I guess we could do it here, I guess? I think this is good enough. Just double checking that I'm in the right place. I do have to use Surface Slap at first, just because of I need to make sure I find all the correct fish. There we go. That's 2. 4 more. Oh, right. I'm so used to doing the hook set. Oh no! My line broke! Oh my god, really? That means I have to go buy another. Oh, damn it. Oh. That's why I always buy more than one lure. God, fuck. The one time I don't buy an extra lure. That's actually infuriating. I'm pissed. I'm actually so pissed now. Literally the one fucking time I don't buy another fucking lure. God damn it. What a... Dude, that feels so bad actually. That actually feels so bad. I always buy multiple lures, but I never that's never happened before. I've never lost a lure before. And so this time I was like, oh, I'm not gonna buy another lure. I don't need it. I'm pissed. Literally the one time. God damn it. I'm actually so mad. I'm so mad. I feel like this one's gonna be a little annoying. I mean, we caught 2 already, so that makes me feel better, but... Gear's fine for the most part. Oof. We are not having good luck here. Man. That's already, what, like 2 misses? 3 misses? There we go, got something. There we go. Let's try this again. Okay. That's 4. 2 more. I'll wait 20 seconds. Very nice. I don't have enough to go for identical. It'd be nice if I could, because that would just make my life easier, but... Oh, well. Oh, wow. Oh, everything. Ah, good. Done! That was easy. That was easy. Let me extract some materia real quick. Cool. And to Charlotte, we go. So we've caught 5. It's the same thing with the clams. We caught 5 fish that are of, like, hopefully superior quality. And then one that's, like, it's okay. Hopefully that will be okay. Someday when I am done with my thesis, you will have to tell me all about how you seemingly can do the impossible. Again, I'm kind of awesome, Talaka. So, 1183, 95, total 28, total 6, 73, good, that beats standards, total 4, total 31, oh, good. We are hitting above parameters. Are my eyes to be believed? An actual Smaragdos? And it's even more impressive than anything I saw in my books. I know not how you accomplished this, show, but you have my eternal gratitude. Show, I've just finished my preliminary analysis of the Smaragdos, and needless to say, it has proved truly fascinating. Incidentally, I recently overheard some of the senior members of the faculty discussing the days before the world was sundered. This led to me wondering just how far back you traveled. I have long heard rumors of a collective of goblin scientists who were attempting to traverse the fabric of time itself. To be honest, I always thought it was a mere jest, but is it possible you use such a method to journey into the past yourself? Yes, but not this time. But I will not ask you to reveal your secrets, not now. You have provided me with exactly what I need to break this impasse in my research, and I must seize the opportunity. At any rate, examining the relative states of the Smaragdos scales, it appears quite evident that the levels of ether in the underwater currents fluctuated regularly even in those pre-Zodiac days. That said, the shifts in concentration appear much gentler compared to the present day. I suspect that the inflated ether levels of the moon caused by the presence of Zodiac are the key to explaining this change. Put simply, these recent incidents have a manifestation of ether levels returning to how they once were so very long ago. Frankly, I should be elated. This effectively proves my hypothesis correct. However, something does not sit right with me. I feel like I must do more than just identify what is happening. How can I sit around here in my office poring over specimens and tomes while these poor sea creatures are suffering? The next whale might very well come ashore to its doom like the fish in Thavnair. Oh, thank you for coming, Professor Nelle. I am most pleased to say that with Show's help, I believe I'll finally be able to finish my thesis. Is this to say that you truly were able to obtain a specimen from ancient times? Impressive. Yes, most impressive indeed. Truth be told, the senior faculty of the studium have been aware of this form of travel for some time now. Sadly, as much as I argued your case, I was strictly forbidden from granting you access to it. Fortunate you are to have Show at your side. With your diligence and aptitude, and her unparalleled gleaning skills, I am expecting greater and greater things from your thesis. I knew it! So if I am promoted to full professorship, I might gain access to that knowledge as well? then I must work even harder toward that goal. And yet at the same time, I find myself with a dilemma. Is it not selfish of me to focus entirely on my own research at a time like this? Is it not my duty as a scholar to help in a more concrete manner? Very astute questions, those, and questions for which you must find your own answer. Of course, none would object if you were to publish your findings. You've done more than enough to support up-and-coming researchers at the studio, and your work would doubtless prove a fine starting point for any who wish to explore the subject further. There are plenty of academics who are driven wholly by their own curiosity, who devote their entire lives to their studies and research for its own sake. However, there is also demand for another type of researcher, one who uses their findings to seek out tangible solutions to the problems of our world. Your research has brought you face to face with innocent creatures in peril, and united you with a brave companion who has traveled to the edge of the world and beyond for you. It is little surprise that you might find new motivation from their presence. Yet, at the end of the day, it is your choice to make. You must decide what inspires you most as a scholar. That is all I can say. As always, Professor Nele has given me much to ponder. Up until now, I'd simply enjoyed solving the mysteries of the world through my research. Only now have I begun to realize there may be more to it than that. Forgive me, but I would like to consider the matter further. Might I be able to count on your aid again once my mind is made up? I swear, I feel there are no limits to what I might achieve as long as you're by my side. I got cookie. Fantastic Fisher. I feel like it's kind of a demotion from season, but okay, sure. Pastures new. Talakatia is looking to apply the finishing touches to his thesis. Ah, Sho, always a pleasure to see you. I fear I haven't quite made up my mind regarding the issue we discussed last time. Please don't be overly concerned. I fully intend to finish writing my thesis for the upcoming conference. At the same time, I can't stop thinking about what Professor Nele said. In fact, I was just thinking I'd head to Tranquility to be alone with my thoughts for a while. Would you mind joining me a bit later? An exchange of ideas might do me well. I like that. I forget that that's how Makote sit. They just pout. They just sort of squat. Ah, thank you for coming. Do you recall how Professor Nele encouraged me to consider what path would most inspire me? I was thinking it over, and it occurred to me, had I not met you, I doubtless would have continued to use my ether sickness as an excuse to stay cooped up in the studium forever. Likely, I would have succumbed to the weight of expectations and given up on my research entirely. Thanks to you, however, I was able to obtain the data I had so long sought, and now my thesis is nearly complete. For that, you have my eternal thanks. And yet, I am now stuck with the profound feeling that I must do more. I must seek even greater heights. I suspect my colleagues would laugh me out of the room if they heard this, but I have a mind to obtain data from the moon itself. If I can only get my hands on that, I'm confident that I could find a way to stabilize the ether currents, and in doing so, save the poor creatures of the sea from their suffering. Alright. Done. I can do that. Yes, this is no time to rest on my laurels. There is so much more that must be done. Of course, I'll hardly be able to accomplish this on my own. What do you say? Will you lend me your help one last time? I can hardly turn you down now, can I? I've done this much. Might as well keep going. Oh, thank you. I promise this will be the last request I make of you. As for precisely what I would have you procure, this is where it gets a bit complicated. Normally I would reference the tomes in Numenon, but as one might expect, none of them cover the ecosystem of the moon. Perhaps you might seek advice with those who reside in Mare Lamentorum? If anyone could tell you what's worth catching, I suppose it would be them. In the meanwhile, I shall focus on writing my thesis. I cannot wait to see what sort of exotic specimen you find for me this time. Perhaps one of the knowledgeable Loporits in Bestway's Barrow could point you in the right direction. Alright, we're going to the moon! Most excellent. Wow, this roll quest is taking me 2 hours. This quest chain is taking me 2 hours. But then again, this was going to be the longest one because it's literally just like, hey, go try to find fish. Well, hello there, show. Whatever brings you here today. I am looking for fish. You don't say. That strikes me as a rather curious thing to be researching, but to each their own, I suppose. At any rate, I do believe the most representative specimen of the aquatic ecosystem here is a fish we call the lunar lamenter. They're quite plentiful in the waters of Vallis Vulnerus. They're known to have a fondness for gray worms, which we suspect is one reason they taste so atrocious. Believe me, you won't find any of our chefs complaining if you take home your fair share. That said, it's most surprising to hear that the destruction of Zodiac has impacted your world so. Do be careful down there, yes? Gray worms. I think I might have to... Never mind. Alright. So, lunar lamenters, eh? They are gonna be south over here. Just I assume I cast my line in here, I assume. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I think here? No, there's no I don't really see a fishing spot, so I mean, maybe we cast my line into the crater itself? That might work. Can we do that? No? Where will you allow me to fish? That's the question that I have. Oh. Here we go. This might be it. Ah, here we go. This is where we are. Okay. Here we go. I can fish here. Hells yeah. Might be a singular thing, so. There's our lunar lamenter. Does it say how many I need? I don't think so. Kind of suggests that catching a few lunar lamenters might be your best chance of providing telepathy with the data you desire. Gray worms in hand, you've sent... Okay, I guess we'll catch more? Question mark? I guess I'll just catch 6 of them. They're not collectible based, so yeah. They're not collectible, so I'll just catch 6 of them and go from there. Most likely I'll probably only need 1. It's weird because it doesn't tell me how many I need. Let's just assume it's 6. Make it easy. Yeah, and I'm assuming it's more than 1 because it's lunar lamenters. I feel like if it was 1, it would just say catch a lunar lamenter. But again, I have no idea. Might only need 1, actually. There's 1. Oh, I can't even catch. Okay. Okay. I guess we'll call it. That's fine. Alright. I think it is actually only just 1. At the very least, I have 2, so here. Here, I caught you 2 moonfish. You're welcome. Back. I'd love nothing more than for you to regale me with tales of the moon. But before that, do I smell what I think I smell? Boom. Incredible. So this is the sort of creature that dwells in the lunar seas. I can't wait to dig in and start examining it. While there's no telling until I see the data, I'm quite confident that this discovery will allow me to revise my theory and complete my thesis. I'll be making my presentation at the phenomenon, but to be honest, I've never been very good at talking in the front of the senior faculty. Might you be so kind as to come sit in the audience? Just knowing that I had a friend among the audience would go a long way to putting my heart at ease. Normally, only the faculty and students are allowed to attend such events, but I'll have a word with the administrators. Given all you've contributed to my research, I can see no reason you shouldn't be permitted to attend. Thank you for assembling here today, everyone. I am Talakatia, an associate professor here in the Faculty of Etherology, and today I would like to present some recent findings from my research on ether currents. Dude, there's 7 of us here, man. Calm down. You're fine. You're doing good, champ. You're doing good. My presentation is entitled Ether Tide, on the waxing and waning of ether levels in underwater currents. Simply put, my hypothesis was thus: the world's underwater ether ebb and flow in tandem. When the concentration of ether drops in one area, it rises in another. This phenomenon repeats itself periodically. Long did I believe this was so, but never was I able to accumulate sufficient data to prove it for certain. This all changed recently, thanks to the talents of a truly remarkable gleaner who risked life and limb to gather the samples I needed. In the course of my research, however, I also discovered many things which I had never imagined at the outset. First and foremost, among these was the ether zodiac exerted upon those self-same currents. Now, as you all know, zodiac is no more. As such, ether levels have temporarily fluctuated across our entire star, as the etheric state of our world gradually readjusts to how it was in the days of yore, before zodiac came into being. Having had the fortune recently to analyze some samples obtained from the lunar surface, it has become apparent that this fluctuation in ether levels was at its most dramatic during a full moon. We have reason to suspect that the recent incident with the wayward whale was also caused by the selfsame phenomenon. In other words, a sudden change in the local ether levels caused it to suffer from symptoms akin to severe ether sickness. Needless to say, this would all be mere speculation if it were not corroborated by concrete data. To that end, kindly turn to page 14 in the booklets I have handed out and take a moment to peruse the chart on that page. Ooh, there are charts. He's got charts and graphs. Oh my! Hells yeah. Look at that thesis. Quite fascinating. Many scholars stubbornly stick to their initial convictions despite the circumstances, but you have clearly taken even the most recent developments into consideration in fleshing out your thesis. Admirable indeed. You are too kind, Professor, and yet there is more I would share. Utilizing my own findings in combination with some alchemical techniques I learned from my colleagues in Thavner, I do believe I have crafted a spell that might help to stabilize the underwater ether currents. More so than my academic findings, I believe this to be my greatest accomplishment. Isolating the relationship between the moon and the underwater ether currents was an important first step, no doubt, but helping those suffering creatures will be far greater important in the end. Our planet is currently in a state of transition. I suspect the imbalance in ether levels will continue for quite a while still. And so, I intend to do everything in my power to minimize the effects of this on both beast and man until our etheric environment stabilizes and returns to normal. Thank you, Talakatia. We shall inform you of your evaluation in due time. In the meanwhile, pray continue to attend to that poor beast in the harbor. We wish you the best of luck. Thank you, Professor. It's a whale! Look at the whale! Look at him swim! Yeah! Hey! There you are! I simply had to tell you before anyone else. My colleagues couldn't stop praising my thesis, and to say I could never have gotten to this day without your help would be an understatement. Not only have I secured more funding to continue my research, but I've also been promoted to a full-fledged tenured professor. Ooh, he's got tenure? Oh, shit! I simply cannot believe that the day has come that I can wear this prestigious gown. Why, I've dreamed of this since the first day I set foot in the studio. Hey, looks good on you. Dude, he's got tenure? Oh, snap, son. That's legit. Oh, you're far too kind. I've still a long way to go before I be worthy of this garb in the way that, say, Professor Nelly is. I always believed in Talaka's potential, but I dare say he would have been hard-pressed to fulfill it were it not for this fortuitous meeting with you, Sho. For that, I too owe you my thanks. Oh, and this is neither here nor there, really, but I received some rather delightful news recently from the Faculty of Medicine. It would seem the professor there who was researching methods for treating the whale has developed an experimental medicine that can lessen the effects of ether sickness. Ooh. Even more frequently, it is said to work even better on men than on beasts. Yes, with this new medicine at my disposal, I can finally take responsibility for my own fieldwork and stop forcing generous gleaners such as yourself to travel in my stead. Just think of all the places I'll go. Distant lands and open seas. Why, maybe even the moon. I simply can't wait to really stretch my legs and explore the world. Nice. They invented ethereal Dramamine. And with that, I best be off, but this isn't farewell, not by a long shot. I have no doubt our paths will cross again somewhere upon some distant sea. I thank you again for everything, my friend. Bye-bye, whale! Look at that. Look at this. He's got his... Look at that. Yeah, boy. I'm standing here in this new gown, but to be honest, it still hasn't all sunk in. Congratulations to Lakatia. You have come far indeed, and you've earned every bit of it through your diligence and dedication. And glad I am for it. For now, I've seen you realize the potential I always knew you had. I can finally retire with my heart at ease. Retire? Professor Nelly, what are you saying? No need to act so surprised. I've been considering it for quite some time now. I'm no spring chicken, and there's little reason for me to cling to my position when promising researchers like you wait in the wings. Of course, I will continue to share my experiences with you if you so desire, but finding that which most inspires you and pursuing it with all of your body and soul, that is something you must do for yourself. I have already imparted all I can. You were able to find this in yourself, in no small part through your chance encounter with Sho. I was happy to be there for you along the way, but I dare say you will fare well enough without me. But, Professor! The future of ethereology is bright indeed, as long as young talents like yourself continue your research here. And so I very much look forward to hearing of your myriad achievements as I enjoy my golden years. And if you're ever in need of conversation, pray visit, that we might muse about the mysteries of the world. Not as teacher and student, but as colleagues and friends. That would be delightful, Professor. I could not have asked for a greater parting gift than your vote of confidence. And thank you once again, Sho. I will be continuing my research here at the studio, so do stop by whenever you would care to talk ethereology with a friend. Likewise, I look forward to hearing even more about your adventures and the far-flung lands you've been exploring. And perhaps if you happen to come across any exotic species of fish, you could snag one or two for me, just for old time's sake. I mean, I got another one of those moonfish if you want it. I caught two, so, you know, I don't know what to do with this, so, you know. Hey, yeah. Boom, a master fisher. Whew. Sufficient data. Ooh. Erudite angler. Hells yeah, man. Alright. Excellent. That is... So that is... This... Sort. Alright. Sweet. So that is fishing all done. We can move up to... We'll move up to botanist now. Botanist is a lot easier. Botanist and mine are a lot easier because of it's just find the spot, get the stuff, boom, we're out. There's really no RNG required. Fishing is literally the hardest one. So, and then crouchers is get the stuff, make the thing, boom, you're done. Like everything is essentially all given to you, and it's not hard to acquire any of the materials and stuff like that. So. We'll do botanist and miner next, but I'm gonna be right back. Okay, we're back. Alright, cultured pursuits. Hinegeshi is worried for her professor. This is for minor and botanist. Excuse me, kind madam. Pardon my forthrightness, but might I beg a moment of your time? I work under Professor Tankin, and I am in search of a capable botanist to assist with his research. That is your profession, is it not? In which case, I wish to discuss potential employment with the Faculty of Anthropology, assuming that is, you have an interest in our work. Sure, why not? Magnificent! Searchers Meet, where we currently find ourselves, is a place where gleaners connect with the faculty and students of the studio. It allows us to acquire the necessary materials for our studies, and also provides us with a place to store supplies and specimens. And with your help, I believe I may be able to procure what is needed for the professor's research. Of course, such work is predicated on the assumption Professor Tankin has decided on a focus for his next project, which sadly, he has not. How exactly am I supposed to help then? My apologies. In my haste to find aid, it would seem I've gotten ahead of myself. You see, the professor must submit a research proposal to the studium, and soon. Otherwise, he will be unable to secure funding for his work. In fact, his very tenure could be cut short. It would be a great loss for the studium, as he is a remarkable scholar, the very definition of calm and collected, until he discovers something that piques his interest. Then his eyes widen and his cheeks take on a rosy hue. Honestly, it's like he regresses to being a young boy. That's a weird observation, but okay. Returning to the topic at hand, your first task will be to procure Professor Tankin himself. I imagine you'll find him somewhere in Numenon, if you would be so kind. Okay. Wonderful. And when you find him, pray offer him this slice of Archon loaf. Like as not, he's forgotten to eat as usual. Ew, Archon loaf. The sheer size of the library can prove daunting at times, but I have spent enough time with the professor to know he is in there somewhere. Okay. Well, alright. Oh. Right, the library's over here. Hi, Pudding Way! Ah. Hello, sir. Are you dead? What? Damn it all! I succumbed to the sweet song of slumber yet again. She always strikes when I least suspect it. Hate it when that happens. I don't suppose you would happen to have a morsel of food to spare on your person? I seem to have built up quite the appetite whilst dead to the world. Here you go. Hinegeshi sent you, eh? Of course she would insist that I eat Archon loaf. At any rate, you have my thanks. I hope you do not think me rude for indulging right away. That ought to silence my stomach for a while. Truly, I am indebted to you, madam. Dozing in the midst of research is an all too common and routinely ignored occurrence around here. There is no telling how long I would have slept had you not come when you did. In fact, it calls to mind the tale of a researcher seeking a means to traverse the ethereal sea. He wished to do so while still amongst the living, you see, but they found him dead in the midst of a pile of books. What the fuck? But that is neither here nor there. Someone died! I take you are come seeking employment? Your timing is quite fortuitous, as I but recently decided upon a topic for my thesis. Pray, accompany me to Searchers Meet once more, and I shall explain all to you there. Alright, sure. We're just not gonna talk about the fact that someone died studying or reading. Okay. It's like that, like that one story from a few years ago of, I think it was in, it might have been either in Japan. No, it wasn't. I think it was in China or South Korea. Of some people found a kid, maybe not a kid, but like a guy. They found him dead in an internet cafe because he was just playing video games the entire time. There you are, my savior from slumber. Professor, please, it would be most rude to waste any more of her time. Might we discuss the focus of your next research project and what it is you require of her? Yes, of course. Time is of the essence. Honestly, Hinageshi, I do not know what I would do without you. Well, that is most flattering, Professor. Thank you. She has a crush. I mean, Hinageshi, I would be lost, completely and utterly lost. Professor Tankin, Yes, and quite famished besides. So absorbed was I in my research that I had all but forgotten my need for rest and sustenance. Were it not for your kind gift, I would surely have expired by now. Oh, I thought you meant, yes, of course. Always happy to help. Aw, that's sweet. Provided our research is deemed of value to the studium, we are supplied with clothing, food, and shelter, but only the bare essentials, mind you. You need but look around to know the veracity of my words. We do as we are instructed, researching and gathering resources, but what value do these things truly have in the grand scheme of things? The study of 1,000 civilizations, and nothing here has changed. The culture of Charlene remains as stagnant as the threadbare attire we wear day in and day out. I must confess, you do have a point about our garments. Should my shirt and trousers be soiled, I would have little recourse but to wear them inside out. But to be perfectly honest, I have no real qualms with the way we live here in Charlene. That is all well and good, Hinageshi, but would you be content to let your children live in such austere conditions? Your children's children? Children? Professor, why would you ever bring up such a thing? It is a subject I have thought to broach for some time. After all, you shall be my sole company for the foreseeable future, and I yours, correct? Yes, I suppose you're right, and I am perfectly content as we are. Of course, if you would prefer other company. Do I need to come back? This has been wonderful, but I should be going. I think I need to leave. And deny us the pleasure of your company? I have long wished for the help of a third party, and insist you stay to aid with our research. A third party. Splendid. I am resolved to change our current way of life. However, in order to do so successfully, I must first determine what cultures are best suited to blend with ours. As such, my research shall involve recreating the lifestyles of other cultures within this very building. So that was the cause of your furrowed brow of late? Well, it is a marvelous idea, Professor. Which is where your experience as a botanist comes into play. I would have you gather the materials necessary for said recreations. Though we do have a great deal of resources on hand at present, they are as yet inadequate for my plans. Okay. Now, if you will excuse me, I require time to consider which culture I shall attempt to emulate first. Have you ever seen such an inspiring sight? Only a couple of times. And they were all very weird, like him. They were all very strange people, but, you know, just endearing in their own way. It is a relief to see Professor Tankin has at last chosen a subject for his research proposal. I myself have long been interested in the world's myriad peoples and their customs. In fact, that is precisely why I was so keen to work with gleaners, well versed as they are in the lore of distant lands. My parents too had a love for learning of other cultures. It was their fondness for the Far East and its beautiful flowers that gave them inspiration for my name. That explains a lot. Because I was like, Hinageshi sounds a lot like Hingashi, and I'm just like, Despite knowing the origins of my name, I never gave it much thought. That is, until one day when the professor commented on it in one of his enthralling lectures. However, he did not stop there. Professor Tankin continued by musing on how even a single flower can go by many names. Different regions will know it differently after all. He then went on to talk of how this difference in location, language, and lifestyle can have a profound impact on how we think. We Aural have our roots in the Far East, though I only know the Charlian way of life, he said. I have long wondered what change might occur within my own mind should I someday visit my ancestral home. It is this very question which drives my research. Yes, even now I remember his words oh so clearly. That lecture inspired me to take up my current post. I like where this is going. This is really interesting, actually. Because that is something that I've thought about, too, as being an Asian male, but living in a small, white, predominantly white town. Like, essentially, I like to think of myself as the whitest Asian you ever know. Like, legit. But if I were to go, like, but I visited Taiwan, which is where my mom's from. I visited Taiwan when I was younger, and it's like, it's weird to think of, like, how would I think differently if I had gone back, if I go back to Taiwan when I'm older, or if I go to South Korea, where my dad's family is from. Like, it's a weird thought to be, it's a very interesting thought. Yet though I have done my utmost to assist him, our failure to present any findings has left me with naught to show of my own achievements. Oh, how I long to conduct research with him in the Far East, just the two of us. Just the two of you, eh? What are you implying with that tone? No, perhaps it is time I was honest for once. You see, I am rather fond of Professor Tankin. There you go. To be honest, it is more than a little disconcerting that he has not noticed my feelings, even you have. Yeah, well, he's dumb. So, like... like, he's really smart, but at the same time, he's really dumb. So, like, I get it. However, given that his current research is squarely focused on creating a better life for us, I feel this is an opportunity I cannot pass up. But I have no experience in matters of the heart. Like a fool, my youth was spent with my nose buried in books. Would you, perchance, be more experienced in matters of romance? I would be forever grateful for your help in winning the professor's affections. Oh, you leave it to me, girl. I got you. I got you. I am a veritable slut in the matters of the heart. Truly, you will help me? Oh, thank you so much. Well, you two are certainly seem to be getting along. Oh, Professor, have you come to a decision? As you are doubtless aware, Charlian is frightfully cold all year round. However, this has led to rapid progress in our ability to control our environs. Nothing proves this fact more than Labyrinthos. It is so pleasantly warm down there, you would be forgiven for thinking you were somewhere altogether more tropical. This has inspired me to look into the lifestyles of those who actually reside in balmy climes. We may yet happen upon a discovery or two that would never be made simply shivering in the cold. In line of this, the culture we shall seek to emulate first is none other than Razat Han's. Splendid! We will need you to go and collect a few things that can only be obtained in Razat Han proper. Hinagesi will brief you in more detail. Alright, the Faculty of Anthropology. Oh, I just realized that my botanist is also almost level 90. Alright. Cooking up a culture. Hinagesi is ready to research. I've made a few lists of a few heinous staples we require to emulate life in Razat Han. And, well, there are certainly quite a few things you would struggle to procure here in Charlian. There is one in particular, which is used to make both vibrant dyes and special spices. Any road, best of luck gathering this at Thavnair. Heinous staples you require can be gathered near the Giant Skull grounds. Oh, okay, I know where that is. Faculty of Anthropology deliveries are now available. Yeah. Alright. Heinous. Alright. 600 is our target. I think up here is the goal I think that I need, or where I need to go. This lush vegetation might be it. Hopefully it is. Yes, perfect. Alright. Now, I have to remember how to do this. This. And then I do this. And then... I guess since I only need 6 of them. That. Pop cordial. Now I will admit that doing miner and botanist stuff is a little bit more awkward just because of I don't have ways to get back GP nearly as fast. So it is kind of awkward. Ooh, this one was 5. Oh, I didn't even realize. Okay, that's fine. We can collect these. Because I think the target was 900, I think, for maximum. Which is actually, it works out. Where is the, oh, here it is. Nope. That one's not gonna play out good. Let's try that again. Eat 23. Nah, it's gonna have to be good enough. That's gonna have to be good enough. Alright. Wait, is that 5 or 6? Did I miscount? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shit. Shit. That's gonna have to be good enough, hopefully. Hopefully that one's good enough. We'll see. That last one may not be great. Doing collectibles for botanists and miner is like, it's a little weird. Alright. Oh, 600 was the minimum. Oh, well. Easy. Oh, I should go spend. Hold on, let me go spend these scripts real quick. Oh, baby. Easy clap, man. Actually, question. If I switch to I'll switch to miner real quick, because I might be able to pad a little bit. Just maybe. We'll see. go. Hey, nice. Oh my, what a fine specimens you found, and so vibrant. Yes, these will be most helpful indeed. Thank you. These rocks are used to create the vibrant dyes Highness clothing is often known for. They say each color has its own special meaning in their culture. Hey. We're gonna just have a bit of a trade-off. Professor Tankin and Inageshi take the items you brought them and set to work emulating Hainer's culture. Oh. Wow. What is happening? Most colorful, would you not agree? Alas, one would surely freeze to death wearing these clothes in Charlene for very long. And while their cuisine is quite delectable, I must say it is rather spicy for my own palate. Perhaps their love for spices developed out of necessity? A fine hypothesis indeed, Hinageshi. Food is prone to expire all too quickly in climes such as Razat Han's. Copious use of spices not only helps to increase one's appetite, it also masks any unpleasant odors that may come from food on the brink of spoiling. And with spoiling food comes the risk of harmful bacteria, a likely reason for the region's struggles with sickness over the years. I can think of no better catalyst to spur innovation in medicine through the mastery of alchemy. This, for example, a tonic to raise the body's core temperature to protect from the cold. Researchful as always, thank you, Professor. Returning to our penchant for colorful hues, I believe I understand the reasoning for that as well. Simply put, primary colors stand out even under the unrelenting rays of the sun. Hence, everything from their buildings to their bracelets are made in bold primary colors. And each color represents different concepts. Red, for example, represents fire. Its close relative, orange, represents the spiritual fire that rages within one's soul, the very source of life itself. This is why they believe orange to be an auspicious color for would-be mothers and the like. Would-be... Wait a second. Hold up. You don't say. My, that is good to know, Professor. What else can you tell us of Razat Han? I think this might be one of my favorite quest lines. This is gonna be one of my favorite quest lines because this is all so fascinating. Actually, I'm genuinely interested in what he's talking about. Like, I'm so actually invested in knowing about the fictitious cultures of this fucking game. I'm so fascinated. Oh, plenty. But I find experience to be the better teacher. So come, let us live as the Hainish do, and I am sure we will happen upon countless discoveries. This is so wild. Well, this is all going rather swimmingly. I had hoped this research might bring us closer together, but I never dreamed we would end up living together. Of course, it would not have been possible without your help, and for that you have my thanks. You're welcome, I guess. A fledgling matchmaker. Hells yeah. The culture of Cerulean. Inageshi is on a hot streak. You come at a good time. I do believe the professor has another assignment for you. Good to see you, my friend. We were in the midst of summarizing what we've learned living in approximation of the Hanis lifestyle. While we commit our thoughts to parchment, I would ask you to acquire a few things we need for our next sampling of culture. And where did you have in mind exactly? Garlemald. The Empire? Oh my, I certainly wasn't expecting that. Do you truly believe there is aught we can learn from them to improve our way of living? I understand your trepidation, Hinageshi. While their history is filled with countless invasions and much suffering, there may yet come a day where we live in peace alongside the people of Garlemald. Though I realize how unlikely that may seem at present. But the winds of change blow fiercely now, and there may soon come a day when they seek shelter here in Charlian. Knowing they cannot manipulate ether as we do, I wish to better understand their culture should we need to play the hospitable host. Now I feel like a fool for thinking you were only perusing this project to improve the lives of those who presently call Charlian home. Such genius! To that end, I would ask you procure a most essential staple of Garlean living. I speak of an ore unique to the region and a certain fruit there that has adapted to grow even in the coldest of climates. Oh, and do not fret, you do not need to bring back both. One or the other will suffice. Alright, monitoring station G. I don't know where that is. I'll be honest, I don't know where that is. Alright. Okay, so then I'm not allowed. Okay. That's fine. It was cool to get the small padding of experience, but now I'm not allowed. Alright, that's fine. Alright, again, 600. Okay. So, Garlean's monitoring station G. Is that... I think that's near Broken Glass, I think I know where that is. I think it's this right here, I think. If not, it's not this. I think it's this right here. If not, it might be this. But I think it's this. Nope. It's not here. Where am I right now? Oh, this is Liminal Station 4, so that's not it. Monitoring Station G. Then it might be this. Evelyn Rhyme. You want to give me like an actual coordinate? Cerulean Engines. Alright. Your turn of platform G. So that's okay. 1528. Oh. it's probably this right here. This right there. That's annoying considering how far away that is. That's annoying. Alright. Cool. Thanks. Here we are. Alright, 600 was our goal again. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm gonna trash this one. Okay. With 600 being the minimum collectability, that actually helps me out a little bit. I don't have to use nearly as much GP as I thought I did. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 more. this go over really fast. And I'll hit it. I won't lie, it kind of sucks that I'm already almost level 89. I didn't realize I was that close, so that kind of sucks. In hindsight, I should have probably leveled my miner to match, but like, it's fine, whatever. Again, it was easy to grind anyway, so I'm not like terribly upset about it. I know for a fact my crouchers are like positioned because I had a little bit more control over that. That's cool to pig. We have been relying on the tomes of Numenon in existing theses in order to accurately emulate foreign cultures, and I have realized that there are a great many things you would never discover without experiencing them firsthand. Alright. Again, 600. These are all past 600. All well past the mark. Goodness, I did not expect you to bring back specimens of such quality. This will make our work much easier. This fruit is fantastic at growing in even the coldest conditions. Oh, I can't wait to experience Garlean cuisine for myself and see firsthand how it's been shaped by their climate. Professor Tankin and Hinegeshi take the items you brought to them and set about working to emulate Garlean culture. I must say, I'm warming up to these cozy clothes and Magitech heaters. All of this would definitely improve life in Charlian. Alas, we've only been granted permission to use the heaters for the duration of our research. We'll have to return them to the studium after we're done. That said, I think I just felt a bead of sweat trickle down my neck. Perhaps I won't miss them as much as I thought. Then I take it you have no need of this piping hot Garlean cuisine, cooked with Magitech kitchen utensils? Oh, Professor, no, I would gladly sample any food prepared with skillful hands such as yours. You know, you can just ask me. I can make food. Provided one is given the necessary instruction, even a child could operate these Magitech devices. And at the heart of all Magitech lies ceruleum, a most efficient and convenient energy source, indifferent to the whims of nature like wind and hydraulic power. Its mass production allowed the Empire to bring Magitech to the people at large, with further refinements to the manufacturing process affording them surplus time and manpower, which they applied to even greater innovations. That said, the importance of alternatives to ceruleum cannot be ignored. It is, after all, a finite resource. Yeah, Garlemald is literally just any first world country. Like, actually, really, I think Garlemald emulates, Russia and the US a lot. Russia in, like, kind of the style of like, more so the Soviet, that kind of Soviet Union style in clothing. But as far as the, like, mass production of Magitech, I mean, it's really just mass production of, like, when cars were invented. The US is definitely, one of the, at least in my head, because I studied US history, obviously. But, like, you know, the United States was one of the leading manufacturers in car manufacturing, hell, even in weapon manufacturing for World War II. The fact that the manufacturing of said weapons and supplying them to our allies in World War II is what brought us out of the Depression. So, I mean, it makes sense. Should we completely squander the world's resources, we will inevitably suffer for our lack of foresight. Professor, this looks exquisite. I thought as much when we were studying Handish culture, but you really are a fantastic cook. You flatter me, Hinegeshi. I would be nothing without the recipes that guide me, although it does warm my heart to see you enjoy my cooking so. There are many, many dishes I still wish to try my hand at, and I would be delighted if you were willing to sample them as well. Oh, it would be my pleasure. Is my imagination, or has the professor been more affectionate towards me of late? It really makes me wonder what will become of our relationship when his research reaches its conclusion. Oh, but I must stop daydreaming. There is yet work to be done. Alright, sorry, I was just looking at stuff for raid. Okay, so change this to I hate Discord does a thing where I can't. Oh my god, it's so annoying. That's not it. Not what I want. There we go. There we go. Alright, cool. There we go. Alright, Discord does a thing where it's like when you're editing a message, it doesn't equate to like where it is on. We're editing like a message in a like a text channel. It doesn't register like if my message is if this. It's hard to describe. If this is my message box, okay, and the message is the message is up here, and like you know you can like add emotes and stuff like that. You hit the button, the drop down menu won't actually drop down; it'll drop up instead. So like, if I have a smaller if I'm looking at my Discord on a smaller monitor, that gets cut off and I can't see. So then I have to move it over so I can get to it. It's a whole thing. It's awkward. It's just a weird problem to have. It's whatever. Anyway, I'm a novice matchmaker now. It's fine. Whatever. Whatever. It's fine. The culture of carrots. Hinegeshi is mulling over her recent findings. Oh, I am positively desperate to know what culture we shall experience next. Me too. This is all very fascinating, actually. I think if I went back to school for... like this is like when I was in college, when I was an undergrad, I actually did consider going into doing a minor of anthropology or like researching cultures and stuff like that. But I found myself to be I think at the time I was just a little too dumb. Like at that point it didn't interest me as much as it does now. I think if I did go back to school, maybe I would do something like that. I don't know though. Welcome back, my friend. We will be continuing our experience as Garleans a while longer, though I would like you to set about procuring materials for the next step in our research. Though, to be honest, I've still to decide on where that step might be. Well, thus far we have lived as people do in the freezing cold and the ferocious heat, so I would say it is time we set our sights on an altogether different sort of inclement environment. Spot on as always, Hinegeshi. The people of Garleval may have overcome nature's fury with their sterling use of technology, but they are far too reliant on ceruleum. Consider this. How would they cope if they were suddenly unable to obtain their precious fuel? One should never be without a contingency plan in case they are thrust into much less hospitable environments. That is certainly true. However, what kind of culture could take root in an area that is effectively uninhabitable? That is precisely what I have been mulling over of late, Hinegeshi. I wish to look into how exactly culture could come to exist in such places. The issue is, well, such regions tend to be uninhabited as a result of their harsh conditions. In short, there is nowhere that meets my criteria to begin with. Inhabiting the uninhabitable. Yes, it does seem to be something of a paradox, but there could be merit in investigating the idea. You are a well-traveled adventurer, yes? Can you think of any place that may suit our curious criteria? Have you considered the moon? A settlement on the moon by the name of Mare Lamentorum. Well, that would certainly fulfill my requirements, but even if it truly exists, it's not as if one can travel to the moon on a whim. Oh, ye of little faith. I don't think you realize who you're talking to, baby. You're being entirely serious, aren't you? Good gracious, you never fail to surprise. Indeed. However, I feel obliged to mention that we know absolutely nothing of life on the moon, assuming it is even possible. Pray head to Mare Elementorum and gather whatever items you believe are necessary to recreate life there. The lunar stables you require can be gathered at Heimdall's last site. That would make sense, actually. I was like, are we gonna go talk to the Loporits again, or... Alright. No, I get it now. Yeah, of course, because that's... The Alligans sent a spaceship there. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right. All right, where are we going? I'm going to. I probably should have checked to see what the minimum or what the maximum collectability was. I'm assuming it's 600 again, but that could have changed. I hope it's 600. It's gonna have to be 600. It's gonna have to be 600 because I'm definitely not gonna go back and check. Nice. I got lucky. I didn't even realize it was Integrity 5, so that works out perfectly. Yeah. Miner and Botanist is so much easier because it's literally go, like, as long as you can find the node, like, boom, you have exactly what you need. And it's so easy to just, it's like, there's no RNG. There's almost no RNG required as far as getting the actual thing. Like, oh, so nice. Just go for one more. Oh, 988. Oh, so close. It's okay. Thankfully, we only need one more. Okay. So much more convenient. No RNG required. I'm not like catching other random things. Like, you literally pick the thing I need and then just make sure I get it, and I just make sure I get one of the value I need it at. Easy. Yeah, I feel like these quests are going a lot faster this way, which is so nice. And the only time that I'm really wasting is going through dialogue and traveling, which helps out. And crouchers are gonna go super fast too. I don't suppose you would know how best to store items from the moon. I wish to avoid accidentally ruining any precious samples you acquire on our behalf. Alright, 600, yes, perfect. Oh shit, I have to go. Fuck, I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting that I keep getting white scripts, so I have to use them. Because I keep forgetting. Fuck, it's fine. I'll just do it on the, I know what I'm gonna use it on. Let's see, 70, 80, chocolate raincoat. I'm not sure. Actually. Oops. That's fine. There you go. Cool. So I might as well use it to buy stuff that I don't have yet. Orchestrions, Chocobo Raincoat for my Chocobo. Sure. Why not? Okay. And there you go. Pilot 12, you really are capable of the travel to the moon. I know nothing of life on its surface, but even at a glance, I can recognize the outstanding quality of these samples. These are carrots, aren't they? Now, why did I expect you to be found growing on the moon? But thank you very much. I like that you can see the different, things that they're, different outfits that they've been wearing. Oh no! Oh no! No! Professor, are you certain this is representative of life on the moon? Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. But of course it is, Hinegeshi. My information comes from the Loporrits, a race that calls Mare Elementorum home. Fucking I hate it. Well, this is all well and good, but is it necessary for us to don these ridiculous outfits? Well, I thought it might help us to experience life as the Loporrits do. I hate it. I hate it. I hate this. And as for all these carrots, make no mistake, Professor, it is wonderful to know that agriculture is possible even on the moon. But I fear a diet comprised entirely of one type of root vegetable will not hold up to scrutiny. That may be so, but civilizations have had to move and adapt countless times throughout history, and they were not always able to eat exactly what they longed for. There may come a day when we too are forced to move to the moon. I mean, you almost were. You almost were forced to move to the moon. The professor doesn't seem to be enjoying himself much. Perhaps he is not especially fond of carrots. I realize this is not the most opportune time to focus on my romantic pursuits, but soon my time will come. I can feel it. I'm gonna bank on all of this. Like, she's trying to get him to notice her, but I feel like all of this is him trying to get her to notice him. Like, I feel like they're both trying and they're just like missing each other each time. Experienced matchmaker. I can only assume that's the way it is. It's like, they're both actually in their own way trying to, like, tell each other their feelings, but they just keep missing the mark. Hinegeshi in Hingashi. Hinegeshi is having a splendid time. I do wonder what culture we shall be examining next. Knowing even the moon is inhabitable, the possibilities seem endless. I bear good tidings. Permission has been granted for our voyage. I decided it was about time we went and experienced other cultures firsthand, rather than recreate them here in our workshop. A fabulous idea, indeed. Wherever are we going, Professor? Hingashi, Kugane, to be specific. Oh, how wonderful! Though our journey has been approved, we cannot afford to tarry. We have been granted but a short amount of time to stay there, you see. Are you, perchance, knowledgeable of the Far East? I am. I'm actually the leader of the... I'm the leader of the Alra there, actually. I am the Han. In that case, could we ask you to act as our guide? Mm-hmm. Sure. You have my thanks. We should arrive at Pier 2 when we reach Kugane. Pray meet us there when you are ready. Fun! And I even get a discount going to Kugane because it's a favored destination. sometime later. Fun. We braved the experimental aetheryte and came via Razat On. Much to our delight and surprise both, they were renting local attire, and I was not about to pass up the opportunity to dress in authentic Hingan garb. I still cannot quite believe I am here in this foreign land with the professor. Now, where is Kugane Castle? You actually go past here, it's literally, you can't miss it. Wherever it is, it does not seem to be visible from here. Would you happen to know a better place to take in its splendor? The roof of the Shiokaze Auxiliary should do nicely. The jumping puzzle! Yes! Actually, yes. Wait just a moment. Are mere tourists such as ourselves allowed on the roof of said establishment? I enjoyed fine views as much as anyone, but I would rather avoid becoming a criminal. Perhaps Tasogari Bridge would be the better option. If I am not mistaken, it should be close by. Shall we have a look from there? No, it's fine, dude. It's fine. Trust me, I've been up there so many times, like, it's fine. I can lead you up easy. No worries, man. I got you. That's funny. That's funny that it references the jumping puzzle. That's awesome. A fortress most formidable. This may be an island like Charlian, but it is quite clear our cultures are as night and day. However, one must keep in mind that Kugane is unlikely to be a true representation of life in Higashi. After all, this port town is but a tiny part of a larger region, and sadly, the only section of it open to the wider world. If we were to get a truly accurate picture, we must speak with the locals. Speaking of which, this place is surprisingly peaceful considering recent events. The ruling class doubtless controls what information is allowed into the area, which begs the question, how much is known by those here regarding affairs in the rest of the world? Perhaps they are convinced they are strong enough to weather any storm alone. At any rate, our work here is certain to prove a most enlightening experience. Already am I glad for this trip. Professor, if possible, I would very much like to visit the Umineko Tea House and sample their danko. I have heard very good things. Hinegeshi, do not forget why we're here. We are researchers, not tourists. You would do well to remember that. My apologies, Professor. Forgive me, I did not mean to upset you. I fear the long journey has left me on edge. Kugane does indeed thrive on tourism, and you are not wrong to deem that aspect of their culture worthy of investigation. You are too kind, Professor. Now let us pay a visit to Pier Number 1 and take in the storehouses, then make our way to Kokajiya. Oof. Aww. Sad times. Ouch. Swing and a miss. Actually, it's really swing and a strike. Ouch. Yep. Oh, we're going to the blacksmith's people. Yeah, nice. Ah, such heat. Greater, perhaps, even than the Garlean heaters. It is an honor to witness the forging of Kugane's world-famous katana blades. Ah, but we mustn't forget why we are come here. I suppose now it is Hinegeshi's turn to rebuke me. Hinegeshi? Where could she have gone? I was so entranced by the sights and sounds of the city, I cannot rightly say when I last saw her. Let us split up and search for her. If you would check the Ijin district, I will search on Kogane Dori. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. A woman lost in the streets, you say? A tourist would have no cause to come this way. He would be better served searching near the gates of Kugane Castle. Much of the city can be seen from there. Now, if you excuse me. Okay, well that was easy. That was easy. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna search over here. I gotta go up. I hope this is like wholesome, or she's just like brooding somewhere and not, she just was not abducted. Alright, she seems fine. Hidegashi, we found you at last. Professor, oh thank goodness. I thought if I waited here long enough, you would come eventually. Yes, we did plan on visiting the castle, didn't we? I should have expected you would memorize our itinerary. But what happened? I could have sworn you were right behind me. Well, I was approached by a merchant on Koganadori whilst we were making for Pier number 1. I stopped to say I was not interested, and when I turned around, you were nowhere to be seen. I should not have been so careless. You did warn me not to behave as a tourist after all. No, I should have been more attentive. When engrossed in my work, my surroundings all but fade away. The thought of you lost, wandering aimlessly through the streets of Kugane, my heart was fit to burst. But to see you here safe and sound, words failed to express my relief. I can only imagine the distress I've caused you. Oh, Professor, Oh no. What can I do to comfort her? Dango! That's it! Dango! Terribly sorry to ask this of you, but I wish to fashion a hairpin for Hinegeshi to lift her spirits. Might it trouble you to procure the necessary materials? The Ruby Sea is said to be a treasure trove of resources. Perhaps you can find something there along the shore or beneath the waves. Okay. Thank you. I would be fool to leave her alone, so I will wait with her here until you return. Hairpin materials you require can be found on Onokoro. Alright, Onokoro. I'm going to assume this thing, the west point is probably where I need to be going. And not the unspoiled one. Where is it? Alright, that is not what I need. That is not what I need. This may not be it. This is definitely not it. Back to Onokoro we go. This is wrong. Maybe one of these spots over here? Hairpin material, here we go. There you go. Easy enough. And then we'll warp to Kugane Cat. No, Ruby Bazaar. I am terribly sorry for all of this. Our stay was meant to be a short one, and yet I have wasted so much of your time. They say the Ruby Sea is a treasure trove for natural resources. I'm certain you can find what I need there. Boom. Absolutely stunning. I shall waste no time in taking this to a craftsman. Pray, keep Hinageshi company here while I am gone. You want some dongo, champ? I'm gonna go get you some dongo. Where do you suppose the professor has run off to? I suppose it doesn't matter. I would only prove a hindrance were I to accompany him further. No, you're doing great. You're fine. Everything's fine. My apologies for disappearing like that. I went on a little errand to have this made for you, Hinageshi. Wait, the flower on this hairpin is... Nothing gets past you. Indeed, it is the flower the locals here know as a Hinageshi. I thought it would be a shame were we to return home from our travels empty-handed. I hope it is to your liking. It's perfect. Thank you, Professor. I shall I shall treasure it for all my days. Strange. These excursions to other lands are always a rather stressful ordeal. With Hinageshi here, though, things are different. Weird! How weird! But this is no time for self-reflection. We must needs survey the rest of the town post-haste. Let us make for the Rakuza district, followed by the Bokairo Inn. But wait, before all that, we must pay a visit to the Umaneko Tea House to sample their finest dango and tea. Thank you, Professor. I can hardly wait. The springs were exquisite, though it was the view that took my breath away. I yet struggle to believe that on the other side of this ocean lies Doma and the Azim Steppe, my ancestral home. How I would love to travel there just once to see how the nomads live firsthand. You will, Professor, someday, and I shall be by your side when we do. I should like that very much. Alas, the time has come for us to return to Charlian. Pray stop by Searcher's Meet once you've returned. I would see you are compensated for your work here. Alright, so there goes my theory of, like, he's subtly trying to impress her. He's just dumb. Never mind. There goes my theory. He's just dumb, and he'll get there eventually. He'll figure it out eventually. It's just a matter of time. It is good to be home. Traveling is lovely, of course, but best enjoyed in moderation like all good things. I should hope you have some place to call home as well. Then I would bid you return there and take a well-deserved rest. I will be in touch again once we are ready to resume our work. Is she wearing the... Hold on, I want to see if she's wearing the thing. She is not. Sad. Right, the culture of the past. Hinegeshi is in a reflective mood. You know, on our return voyage to Charlian, the professor said he'd been duly inspired and eager to continue our work. What culture do you suppose he intends to study next? Probably something that involves me going to Elpis, if anything. Ah, Professor, now that we're all gathered, might we discuss your plans moving forward? Yes, of course. Our research thus far on the lifestyles of peoples in various regions has proved quite enlightening. However, after much deliberation, I have concluded that to merely compare and contrast locations alone will not suffice. No, you must consider different time periods as well. There it is. Oh my. Well, I suppose that means we will be studying Alec then. I can think of no other bygone culture worthy of scrutiny. And I understand full well why you would reach that conclusion. However, I recently happened upon records that suggest there exists a civilization that predates Allegans. A civilization older than time, far more advanced than one might believe possible. It sounds a fantasy, I know, but if it truly exists, I wish to recreate that paradise. I've seen part of it, a place called Elpis. Please, tell us all you know. Alright, so, like, when things were going wrong, I had to go to the first, which is like a whole other shard. That's a whole other story, by the way. And then I met up with Elidibus, and he was real sad, but then we teleported. It's a whole thing, you know? A facility for the testing of creation magics. Fascinating. Were it anyone else, I would call them mad, but you did travel to the moon. I realize I'm asking a great deal of you, but if there is a way to procure relics from that age, I would be eternally grateful. I will make what preparations I can for your return. This may yet prove to be the discovery of a lifetime. Anything you can bring back to us will surely prove a boon to his research. And Norris has got it. Again, I feel like doing... So here's the problem. Here's the problem with having stuff and going to Elpis and doing stuff, you know? Here's the problem. There's a whole thing called the butterfly effect. You know, the smallest thing can just ripple and cascade through the timelines. And I'm just kind of like, I feel like you're just inviting disaster by doing stuff like this. But who knows? All right. Wow, so I have a chance of attaining nothing? That feels kind of bad. Shit, man. That feels bad. I guess it's a 92%. Wow, that's wild, actually. That's actually super wild. Okay. That's 4. Alright, let's go. Ooh, that was actually, I was actually kind of surprised at the fact that I lost an item because I just didn't get it. That's actually wild to me. That's never happened before. I was shocked. So I was like, I lost the item? What? Didn't know that was possible. But I guess that makes sense when they give you like, yeah, it's a 92% chance of getting the thing. Like, yeah, I guess that has to make sense. 92% is good, but hey, there's still some room for error. You know, a part of me thinks it's odd that we now strive to emulate an ancient civilization. Would that not, after all, mean we are taking a step back? Though if this Elpis is as advanced as you say, perhaps it will prove to be a step forward. Scripts, I keep forgetting. The fucking scripts. God damn it. I don't want to cap out. At the same time, I'm now starting to run out of things to buy. I'll just do more things like that and allow me to level. Or we can always just do more cordials. I mean, more cordials is always good. Goodness me, this material is unlike anything I've ever seen. Honestly, I find it hard to believe it is as old as you say. All the better for our work, I suppose. I was not expecting the materials to be quite so large. However, did they manage to use them for crafting, I wonder? Well, they were bigger than us, is also the thing I should mention. They were significantly taller than us. Professor Tankin and Hinegeshi take the items you brought them and set to work emulating Elpis culture. Ah, Jesus fuck! Welcome, friend, to our humble abode. I beg your pardon, Professor. Oh, my apologies, Hinegeshi. I was simply imagining what the people of Elpis might have sounded like. You're not far off. We do our best to recreate their culture based on what you have told us. Frankly, it felt like I had wandered into a fairy tale at times, but I do find their way of life has its merits. They do not waste time on the frivolous. Everything has a clear, functional purpose. Perhaps, but I find their clothes make it rather difficult to go about one's duties. It is entirely possible they did not need to engage in physical labor. Their proficiency in creation magics may have led to the decline of their physical frames. Wielding writing quills and such was no doubt a simple matter, but it is unlikely they could bear anything weighty. What role do you suppose these masks play exactly? Mayhap they were averse to showing their faces? Well, we definitely know that some of them can put up a fight. We definitely know that. I would posit that they distinguish each other not by their outward appearances, but by their ether. Or perhaps they all led such fulfilling lives that they simply had no need to express themselves as individuals. Well, actually, some of those masks, depending on your position in the government, some of those change, so... To think that a sophisticated civilization vanished in but a blink of an eye. I wonder if all cultures are ultimately destined to meet the same fate. We will discover that answer in due time, I'm sure. Though part of me wishes we could live like this forever. An interesting idea, Hinegeshi, but I am not so sure it was a wise one. Still, it is gladdening to see you enjoy the cultures of the old world so. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. Not exactly. I was merely thinking how nice it would be if every day could be like this, experiencing new ways of living together. Studying the length and breadth of a people's history as a whole, we can see naught but trends and tendencies. Like this, however, taking a glimpse of their lives day by day, the parallels between our cultures becomes quite clear. Even these ancients of Elpis no doubt enjoyed the simple pleasures of life as we do, taking each day as they came. It would be oh so lovely if we could do the same, enjoying the simple pleasures of life, one day at a time. Why, Hinegeshi? You're exactly right. I sometimes feel I learn more from you than I do my own research. You flatter me, Professor, but I've said nothing worthy of such praise. He's so smart, but he's so dumb at the same time, and I hate it. He's so dumb, but he's so smart, but he's so dumb. fuck! God damn it! The culture of love. Hinegeshi is love and life. We already have amassed so much data from the professor's research. I cannot imagine where we would turn our attention to next. Good, you're here. There is something I wish to discuss with both of you. I will be informing the studium that my research has concluded. Oh. But what? But why? My apologies for keeping this from you, but my research has had an ulterior motive. It was, in fact, part of a contingency plan devised by the Forum, that plan being mass exodus to another star. The true goal was to determine what culture was worthy of preservation, and how said preservation might be accomplished. I don't understand. Are you saying the Forum had resigned itself to abandoning this world? Oh, yeah, but we don't do that anymore, so it's okay. I'm afraid so. Yet the fact remains that culture can only survive and thrive through the people who share in it. Any knowledge we might feasibly preserve now is no different from the myriad tomes collecting dust in the halls of the studio. Which is why, apart from research being conducted in Labyrinthos, we were tasked with finding suitable cultural elements we might actively preserve for those in the future. And it was during our most recent endeavor that I found my answer to this great conundrum. Hence, there is no need for further research. I need simply summarize our findings in my thesis. My sincere thanks to you both for all your hard work. Truly, the pleasure was all mine. A pity our work must come to an end. Yes, well, did you have any plans for after our research was finished? I cannot say that I do. Our work together has been so engaging I could scarcely think of aught else. In fact, it has been quite some time since I paid visit to my parents. Which reminds me, they said they found a new suitor when last we spoke. Something to look forward to on the voyage home, I suppose. A suitor? Gasp! Gods, am I too late? If only she had stayed a short while longer. What do I do now? Go to her, fool! Fly! I was hoping she would accompany me on my next venture. Research of a ceremony of sorts. I say research, but it's more of a, You need a ring with that? Oh, Taken, such roundabout thinking is how you got yourself into this mess. My recent endeavors together with Hinegeshi have made me realize just how much she means to me. I realize the foolishness of harboring these unrequited feelings, but I can contain them no longer. Which is precisely why I intend to propose! Yeah! It's about fucking time! God damn! I appreciate your enthusiasm, though I don't understand why you're so moved by my proclamation. Well... But before I propose, it would be prudent to learn how she feels about the matter, and for that, I require your help. Though I understand you would rather not involve yourself in such a personal matter. Oh, trust me, I'm so involved in this. I would be more than happy to be involved in this matter. You will help me, truly? Then perhaps hope is not yet lost. You see, my plan was to fashion an eternity ring. I wished for it to be something memorable, which is why I would ask you to procure materials for the ring from the place where Hinegeshi and I first worked together, Labyrinthos. I shall see to the rest, and have hopefully steeled my nerves in the interim. Yes! Yes! It's happening! Oh shit! To Labyrinthos! We gotta fucking go! What? Oh no, why is what? Why is it congested? What the fuck? No. No. I need to get in. Let me in. Let me in. Can't you see I'm on a mission for love? Fuck the raid. I have love to attend to. It doesn't matter where I go. I don't know. Nope. Boom. Easy. God, this was so much faster than fishing. This took so much less time. It took us, what, 2 hours to do... Yeah, it took us about 2 hours to do fishing. I think this is taking us like an hour and a half. Have you found something suitable? I do not mean to rush you, but I fear time is not on our side. Boom. Thank you. Now to set about fashioning the ring. Before you go, may I ask you one last favor of you? Please deliver this letter to Hinegeshi. I want to look at this letter. A letter addressed to Hinegeshi. The untidy handwriting betrays how nervous Tankin was when penning it. We gotta go. We got to go. I can still hardly believe our work with Professor Tanking is over. It was foolish of me to grow so attached, I know, but I've never been so happy as when I'm with him. A part of me wishes he felt the same, that we might have grown closer in the short time we had together. Alas, life rarely lives up to expectations, but thank you again for all your help. I had better be going now. Ah, ta 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 ta! You will do no such thing, madam! A letter from the professor? It says he wishes to discuss his future works with the studium and that I am to return immediately. But he should be readying his thesis. Whatever could be so urgent? Only one way to find out, I suppose. Yes! Whatever he has to say, it must be urgent. This is the first time the professor has ever written me a letter. Yes! It's all coming together. Hells yeah, dude! Hells yeah! Fucking love this quest line! Fucking love it! Oh! I knew the professor would get there. He's a smart man. I knew it. You delivered the letter? Good. Now I need but wait for her arrival. It's happening! Steel yourself, man. You got this. You got this. Sorry to keep you waiting, Professor. You got this. You got this, bro. You got this. You got this. Thank you for returning on such short notice. You see, there is something I must tell you. To be brief, how should I say this? Come on! Do it! Fucking do it! Step up, son! Step up! You noted in your missive that you wish to discuss future matters with me. Have you, perchance, decided on another subject of study? Yes! Yes, he has! No, not exactly. You see, Hinegeshi, I would like to officially list you as the lead author of my current thesis. Naturally, this will require you to contribute extensively to its composition as well. A fine opportunity for you to put forth writings of your own as well. You would trust me with the position of lead author? I would be honored, of course, but it was you who did most of the work. I could not possibly steal the plaudits you so rightfully earned. Nonsense. I have learned so much from you over the course of our research. It would be not fraudulent of me to take all the credit. Look how not amused I am. Then look how fucking pissed I am. I'm like, this is not the conversation you should be having, and you fucking know it, Tadkin. You fucking bitch. Is that so? I had no idea. Well, I'm afraid I must disappoint you, Professor Tankin, for I cannot stay. What? My parents have completed arrangements for me to meet with this new suitor they found, and so I must return home at once. You shall do nothing of the sort! Oh no, she'll go to say no thank you, and then she's already found someone. That's what she's gonna fucking do. Professor, please, there is still plenty of time until the thesis must be submitted, correct? Surely it can stand to wait until I've met with... The thesis is not what concerns me, Hinageshi. It's, say it! Didn't you prepare a gift for her? Didn't you have something that you would like to give her? Yes, of course. If not for you, I fear my nerves would have gotten the better of me. Thank you. Do it! Our work together has taught me a most valuable lesson. It is not an environment that makes a home, but rather the people one shares with it. And in time, those people may form the deepest of bonds. Hinageshi, the time we spent together has been the happiest of my life, and I do not wish for it to end. Say that you will stay with me, that we may enjoy the simple pleasures of life together, one day at a time. It's a good RP walk. Professor Tankin, I don't know what to say. Well, you could say yes. You are well within your rights to refuse, if that is your wont. Should you choose instead to be bonded with this suitor of yours, I will not stop you. Bonded? Whatever are you talking about? Did you not say your parents found you a suitor? No, you have it all wrong, Professor. The suitor is not for me. It's a business partner, for my parents. That is not the word I would have used. Your parents? That is not the word I would have used. You should have just led with partner. That suitor was wrong. That's on you, Hinageshi. That's fucked up, dude. You didn't know that my parents are both botanists, yes? They were recently introduced to a potential financial supporter who also wished to know more of my research interests. I thought an opportunity to secure funding for our next venture, and so I agreed to meet with him. Our next venture? Of course, you won't be getting rid of me so easily, Professor. There's still so much for us to see, so much to do. Then, does this mean you have accepted my proposal? Proposal? I'm not sure I follow. And may I ask why you have that ring? Really? Really? What? Really? Fucking really? You don't get it? What? What is this bullshit? What is this nonsense? This is garbage. What the fuck? What do you mean? What? Well, you see, this ring is used for the ceremony of eternal bonding, and I was hoping you might join me in a recreation of the ceremony. A recreation? Absolutely not. Well, you just have to do the real thing, now won't ya? Then let this be the first of many real experiences together. Hinageshi, will you join me in the ceremony of eternal bonding? I thought you would never ask. God damn it. Ah, Jesus, what the fuck? What just happened? Hello? Alright, you know what? No, it's fine. Sure. I know not what the future holds, but so long as we are together, I know our days will be filled with joy and happiness. Okay, so she just wanted him to actually say the question. Okay. A lifetime of new experiences and endless possibilities. Yay! I like to think that she had all of this planned. Like, she was just ready. She's just waiting, just like, ha-ha! Oh, like, it's like she tears down the walls. It's just everything's already decorated. Just, huh! This was all so sudden. If you told me this was a dream, I might be inclined to believe you. Nevertheless, it gladdens me to know we will continue living together as we are. Though a small change of pace now and again would not be a terrible idea, perhaps we'll take a trip once our thesis is dealt with. Speaking of trips, we will have to pay a visit to my parents first and foremost. A splendid idea. I had a feeling you'd think so. But before all of that, I wish to thank you for helping to complete our great work, and more importantly, for bringing the two of us together. I believe I speak for both of us when I say you have our eternal gratitude. All's well that ends well. Oh. Heyo. Master Matchmaker, baby! Alright. 'Tis not hereafter. So these all come with titles? I guess so. Erudite Seeker. Huh. Asher's New Culture Love. Alright. Alright. That takes care of fish all my disciple lands. Now I just have to do now we just gotta do our crafters, which I think I am going to save for tomorrow. I think we're gonna take care of these for tomorrow. We'll wrap up the rest of these. These should not take long. Fisherman was the longest one just because of RNG purely. But the crafter ones is literally get the thing, make the thing, boom, we're done. So we should be completely fine with all of this, with taking care of all these tomorrow. We'll be able to take care of all of this, and then if there's any epilogue thing, we can take care of that as well. But yeah, on that note, guys, that is it for me tonight. Thank you so much for coming out to the stream. I will see you guys back here tomorrow. We will start with our goldsmithing, Disciple of Hand quest lines and all that good stuff. But as always, though, my name is Shogun Shin. You are the audience, and I'll see you guys next time.